to do so independently. We have more comments coming through from Feds Barkin at 2:30 p.m. But with that, we're going to send you back to the guys for the afternoon show.
Feds Barkin, huh? Oh, welcome, guys. Yeah, I hope Neil Krashkari comes. We are very, very short. I do hear someone in the back. Got some. There we go.
Weigh me down.
Oh, it's Joseph. It's Joseph's mic is still on. What's up, Joseph? Hope everything is going well there. Almost done. Oh, Neil's mic is all messed up again. Yeah, Joseph, almost done the taxes, okay? So don't worry about that.
You're not done yet. Come on.
No, I haven't filed yet, man. I haven't filed yet.
No, but you're done. You're done doing.
Are you muted?
What? No. I'm not muted.
Okay, that's someone said in my ear.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I've got some.
Can you hear me now?
Got some taxes.
Can you hear me now? You just got to file those taxes. You can complete the taxes. You just can't file.
How much insurance? Oh man. Oh man. But whoa, paying taxes is part of our duty,
taxes,
as we all know. You know, part of our civic duty. Pay those taxes, but you know, when you trade, you got some taxes to pay, and when you don't trade, you don't got taxes to pay. You always got taxes to pay. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. No financial or no tax advice from us over here, and hopefully just trading advice. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. We now have 2 hours left in this market. When the market was up almost 3 and something percentage points, I was like, I said to Sharif, just kind of jokingly, like, yeah, we'll probably go red. Giving back almost half. We'll see what winds up happening right now. The ES now 1.7. Nice move to the upside. Like I said, we're just waiting for good stories. Apparently, we got one right here as AMD went all the way to the backside there, all the way up, and then we shorted that top, and now we're short here as well as the TQs. So the market goes up, the market goes down. At the end of the day, we're just trying to make some bread and cash out a little bit here. So yeah, good day so far. Could always be better, and we're going to try to make that better right here, right now. Right here, right now. AMD, Palantir was the long from the morning that went to 96.50. That taking VWAP back to the upside, I like. So that might be a trade that I'm going to be interested in coming up very, very soon. 94 break long on Palantir could be the one into this afternoon. So that's something that I'm looking at right now for PLTR. And then I have these other shorts, but we're covering, man. I mean, we have this TQ short here. We shorted it, you know what I'm saying? We know, and then boom, right there finally comes the downside. We just layered it up into 46. We initially wrote down 45.50 as our short, between 45 and 45.50. So take the short there at 45, get out at 44.30 and change, then try to run it back up there to the upside. So far so good here. We didn't miss much, did we? The market, well, a violent one more time here.
If you weren't around the entirety
not
of
a bear,
lunch,
my friend.
Look, man, if you weren't around the entirety of lunch, you did miss a lot.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
It was insanity. Just one. I know we're going to go. I think we're going to Adair again because there might be more news. But Bitcoin is still at the highs.
Well, Adair's
and
not
looking
here, so we don't
strong.
have to worry about
I heard
that,
somebody say something. Anyways, Bitcoin is still super strong. Although it just did a topping tail candle, 91.5. We're sitting at this is IBIT. The longs were good, and while the market was tanking, Bitcoin held the line, or IBIT held the line at 51.6. Don't remember exactly what the price was on Bitcoin, but to say that it was a lot of price action, I can tell you right now, I was red on Nvidia, and then I had just gone green on Nvidia, and then I was shorting under VWAP, and then was it Benson, I guess, was the headline? Anyways, I was short, and then immediately, because this was the wick where the news happened, and then played off the top. I'm out of it and waiting for the volume-weighted average price. And here, we did take it off the top. I said I'm not touching Alibaba. When that news hit, I'm like, the Chinese names went like a different type of ham, and I didn't want to mess around with them. But I'm looking at the other side of this and sort of saying, okay, we've got it. We had the 2-year auction. We've had some walk back. We might actually even get Trump. Let's wait for this move up to abate a little bit. Maybe come back into VWAP on the things that have turned. I do have Intel. I sat Intel out until when the market broke out the top, it didn't break the top. We're 0 for 2 on Intel this morning, taking a couple shots at it, waited for it to make a lower high, kind of like a clean, don't run the high when the market did, covered at VWAP. I'm not adding to this unless I see it hold under the volume-weighted average price. I want to be patient because I think wasn't patient enough this morning, despite the fact that I thought I was. Shout out to you, David. Appreciate the super chat. Heart to Jorge and Nimrod. All the viewers, hearts to everybody. This is a fraction of what bet against Tesla. Long live the polar bears tonight. Okay. So you don't like Tesla tonight? I think a lot of people are hoping that Elon has some positive things to say. That'll be after the bell. It's going to be a while. I mean, forget about just a Tesla for earnings for a split second. You've got the back and forth that we have with, are they negotiating, are we getting deals done with China or not? Are they backing off? You've got that. Then you have the earnings to go through with Tesla. A lot to cover in this market recap, and we still got a couple hours to go here.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit long here on Palantir. It just tried to break. I mean, this is VWAP right here at 94. Might be a little silly. Let's let it go a little through before we add, and then we'll go much longer. Maybe if we could take like 94.50 or something, and then just use this as our, because like VWAP is just a line. What we're trying to do is play strong names as we continue to climb through that line. And then just if you look at where VWAP is today, we've spent very little just the morning underneath where we caught that huge long at 91.50 as we had wrote down. Now we'll try to do a little technical there. This has to, if you're going to hold VWAP, I don't really want to hold it against that break lower, but sometimes you hit VWAP, then you can get right back into those lows again. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. I mean, for now it's a dime piece. So 10 cents, as you'll see, is sometimes hard to come across, but not in this market. If you hold out for more than that, you can get more. But you can also, have those headline risks where you're going up, down, and all around again, like just right here, right? There's 10 cents, and there now it's out of the money 10 cents, and I can't even finish my sentence. So we're going to wait. I'm going to wait to get more against that level because we just sort of failed there. But to judge VWAP break in 2 minutes is not the right strategy. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there with Palantir. Hopefully the market can hold VWAP here. But I did say before that I thought the market could possibly continue to bleed a little lower here today. So yeah, we'll have to figure this out. Maybe 93.50. I mean, that bottom for Palantir right here, Google's has some news on it right now.
It's an OpenAI.
Oh, OpenAI headline, okay. 93.36 right there is that bottom. And then there's that wick down to 93.17. So, all right, we do have some hope down here. Maybe 93.50 will add a little bit more to Palantir, but half a unit or so in. So I'm in right now about, I don't know, about a quarter of what we would have had this morning. So again, you guys, make sure you ask us anything in the chat, share sizes, how much are we in as far as, what we're used to and things like that, because I think that helps, right? I mean, you want to know how much we believe in the position, right? And that will be told, obviously, by share size, but we don't give that out. So
the news on OpenAI and Google just now was OpenAI would be interested in purchasing Google's Chrome internet browser, and that would be in the event of a break, in the event that they were forced to break it up, right? So, yeah, I don't know how much that's going to end up mattering. You'd have to get through all this trial stuff. Then they'd actually have to do something which they've been threatening to do a while, which doesn't end up happening. And of course they would be. You think they would want to buy it? OpenAI? Of course they would. That makes total logical sense. But I don't think that's not going to move the needle on Google, and OpenAI is private. Let's go to Sharif. See what is it you guys want to talk about.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are locked and loaded and ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there and to vote for them is to join Joe and I during the midday and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers. But you've got to be a subscriber in order to vote and engage with us in the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Guys, here's a look at the triple Qs, well off the highs as you saw there midday when we got that catalyst from the White House press briefing. We're still positive on the day, believe it or not, on the triple Qs. Still up over 2%. We're closing in, though, on that 4% look before the drop down. Strong still is IBIT and Bitcoin. Obviously, by extension, trading about $52 right now is IBIT. But again, off the highs, Bitcoin reclaiming that $90,000 area. Still a technical area of resistance that we haven't cleared. Then we're looking at $100,000, guys, if that. But good day for IBIT, up 4 2/3.
Yeah, it absolutely tagged the resistance on the daily Bitcoin, that is. And it's been bullish today, but there's there's our little 74,000, there's our 109 all-time high double top, and there was a prior support when we were playing off that high. We literally tagged that today just underneath 92,000 and pull back. But it was only looking for longs, and you can want to buy. I wanted to buy dips. I eventually had way too tight of a stop. Initial on that would have been the best one, but then waited for the relative strength to come in. Like it broke trend and then held right here, 51.6. That'll be the first level I'd look at if we come back into it. But we just made another turn at that same high. Showed you guys that on the daily. This is legit resistance level on IBIT or on Bitcoin. You got to respect that 92,000. It's been a while since we've been able to hold above it. I think any kind of breakout above that level, you need some real convincing. Like the buyers are not showing up above that price. I'll be having IBIT up here. Want to buy the dip into VWAP. That looks like it'll be right around our prior support area on Bitcoin. So you just require a little bit of patience. Eventually, it showed its true colors when the market just kept dropping off that high and it held the line. So you could see where the level was as the buyers were coming in. So you want to be able to join it when you could.
All right, let's have a quick little rundown of some of the altcoins right now. So we heard some news about Ethereum being up 8% right there today. So that's a nice little move there for sure. There's XRP. We talked about that earlier on in the day. It was at 210, so it's only 216, but not bad. Nice little 4 points on that one. Solana back up to 145. So that's nice, giving us 7.5%. Dogecoin has been absolutely clocked, so that's down to 17 cents, but still up 10% right there today. Cardano, same kind of thing. It got as high as 120 maybe during that Trump stuff, but down to 65 cents right now, up 6% so far as well. As we look at some other things, Avalanche 8, Chainlink, another one that, I mean, all of these move a lot going through the market, but you can see right here by market cap, like Bitcoin right now, 1.8 trillion or whatever that number is, well outpacing pretty much everything else. It dwarfs everything else. Ethereum's only 200, is that billion right there on that mark? So yeah, still, being dwarfed by everything here. Bitcoin just kills it all. So this is really where you want to look when you're looking at the total market cap right here of 3 and Bitcoin is 1.8. I mean, we know where the strength is and what needs to lead this market higher. And it seems like today it is being led, obviously, there. Bitcoin, nice little move, 5%, 8% on the week. So good job there. I think Solana has some pickup to go as well. Solana maybe you can even get higher than Ethereum. So that would mean 3x from here. But we're still pretty bullish on crypto and, hoping that it gets a lot higher than where it is now so we can make some real money. But right now, 91,000 is good enough for me, better than 77 where we've come from, Sharif.
Agree with that wholeheartedly, Sean. Good day for Tesla today, up $237, give or take, up about 4.5%. They are reporting after the bell today, and there's going to be a lot of focus on the Model 2, full self-driving, robotics. But the main thing that we're going to be looking at is their earnings. How much did they make in revenue, and what are they expecting for earnings per share? So analysts are expecting first quarter revenue to come in at $21.35 billion. That's going to be a little bit higher than last year's quarter, $21.3 billion. So a little bit of a beat there. With respect to earnings per share, expected to drop, guys, about 41 cents per share. That would be down from 45 cents last year. Widely expected, though, that Elon Musk will have a more upbeat tone to kind of help with some of the negative sentiment that Tesla's been suffering from lately.
I said Tesla, the risk is to the short, right? Meaning that there's so much negativity around the stock that a couple good stories and this thing probably gets going. And it just got going right away, all the way to 242. So you had it, and I even said it earlier, I was like, the example I used was 10% of whatever you thought you might want to buy of Tesla. So if you had $1,000 you want to get into Tesla, I said even in this pre-market, I was like, just buy 10% right now so that if you have this kind of a move up, at least you're in something. And if it goes down, you're only in 10% and you can reassess. So I think that's the right play here. I'm excited for the earnings report. Join Sharif and I tonight, and we'll see where it goes. Nothing wrong, and Adair, of course. And I don't want to forget Adair, the most important part of the after show. I just need to make sure that, you know, we do hold that bottom. So I think that if you're going to trade it here this afternoon, I think this is a good breakdown right there. As far as going long, I'm already long Palantir on a very, very similar look, breaking through VWAP. So for me, I would think this 234 is definitely something, 234.50. Look for that to break down, especially if we don't hold VWAP. So yeah, right now I'm a little, I'm kind of like meh at these current prices. You know, you're now up, as you can see right here, $4.2%. So I don't know if this guy's going to go on Rogan anymore and you know, light some dubs up there. But at the end of the day, you know, 4.3. Well, Rogan and these guys are all friends. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back on.
Well, I just don't think it'll be quite the show that it was the time he went on before, like when he was, you know, they were having a little bit more fun. That's just my guess.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's just my guess. 'Cause I think a lot of what you'll get, well, some of what you'll get tonight is going to be like him talking, focusing on the future of Tesla and how his focus is on Tesla. I think that's like the messaging you're probably going to want to get through. Well, I was going to do the 15-minute chart at 234 level because it's also Fridays. Check that. It's also Wednesdays. I almost said like Friday. That's Thursday. It's Wednesday's low, in addition to where we pulled back in here. We lose that, and that's going to be a problem for the afternoon. But there's other bullish plays that I would rather be getting into this afternoon. Dips on IBIT over Tesla for me. But yeah, all I was going to say was the 234 and then show you on the 15-minute last week. That was a pretty big floor. And even if you go further back, it was a huge breakaway price there on the 9th. So to say that's a key level might be a bit of an understatement. If it loses this, I think we could see the low of the day again.
All right, guys, Apple, decent day for Apple, up over 3%, but like one of those other stocks we're looking at well off the highs. The EU apparently has fined Apple and Meta millions of dollars. Brussels accuses the companies of not complying with the Digital Markets Act, the DMA. Apple and Meta are set to pay fines in the 2 to 3 digit million range and also provide daily fines if they do not end their practices within a certain period, reports Handelsblatt. So we'll have to wait and see how that all works out. Got to tell you, though, the stocks didn't really respond too much to this headline. They responded more to the White House press briefing.
That's the market we're in, man. It's that simple. Like what's going to matter way more any headline that we get with regards to tariffs, and Apple was cruising to the upside. Then we got that 10-year, sort of the 2-year note auction, and then we had a little bit of walk back of those comments. I like VWAP on Apple. Support at 198. We're short this thing into 198 earlier. It held. 198's holding like an absolute rock. So I want to try and grab that off the 198 level. Just keep it simple. Be really patient. Patience is paid off here today. Like avoid the headshots. Make sure you get out when you're against the trend. That kind of a thing. So wait for the good price.
Palantir right here. We just took 30 cents, well, 25 cents, 30 cents here on PLTR. Let's see if it continues to go higher right now on that one. I need to put on these glasses because you can't really, the polarized ones, they just reflect weird against the screen there. All right, what are you supposed to talk about? Apple. All right, look. I mean, like the stock, we've talked about this many times. I'm short under 200. I'm long above 200. Sharif, Nvidia, let's go.
Caught me off guard there. Shannon was trying to text on my phone. All right, guys. Nvidia. Well, this is not Nvidia. This is Apple. But Nvidia's below $100 right now. A bit of a tougher look today for NVDA. Several different rating agencies commenting about Nvidia, KeyBank, including one of them, as well as Deutsche Bank. Barclays here, though, maintaining their overweight rating on Nvidia, but dropping that price target from 175, guys, to 155, which still implies a nice upside. Okay.
All right, Nvidia. So, yeah, we can have a quick little look on that one. I mean, I've been shorting AMD, and you can see right now we have just $1 on that name. But yeah, Nvidia, look, I mean, I like the stock down here at 97.50. That's going to be the low right there for the day. I just kind of play this one the exact same way as Apple, where as long as we are under $100, I'll be looking for the short. And so that would have played right there. I mean, you have to be short. Today I was on AMD. You have to be short. If you like Nvidia short at $100, you have to be short right there. That came within 20 cents. Like, that's a great spot to start to build the short. I should be short Nvidia right there. I mean, instead at the same time we chose AMD, and we could see like very, very happy with the results there. But Nvidia definitely short there at $100. You know, with or without these glasses, that's a pretty easy trade to see. So we should have been all over that one, and unfortunately we were not. But no Nvidia, no cry. You can see the positions we've got on right now. Today, hopefully, will wind up being a good day. But that right there, I hope a lot of you have that, because that's just about as clear as it gets. Glad we're on AMD right now to the short side, but that Nvidia trade right there, if you liked it at 100, then that's. It's 100, right? I mean, that's right there, right? So that's within 18 cents. So congratulations, anybody that nailed that, or anybody that faded any of these chip names, because it's worked so far. And oh no. What? We just put this one on, man. There's Palantir right here, starting to go up to the upside again, man. Maybe we got to get that hat back on right there, as our friend Alex Karp taking us all to the moon right here. What do you want to say about Nvidia over there?
Well, you said the 100 short. It was on my note, 100 short, had the 100 short, shorted Intel at the exactly same moment, at exactly the same moment. When it bounced off of this price right here, 98.3, I trailed out. And the reason why I trailed out is this is where the Besant, it was Scott Besant, whatever the, I don't know the exact quote that he said, but there was like something about the China de-escalation, yada, yada, yada. And he said a lot of stuff, but this is de-escalation. That's where he caught the bid. So ever since then, it's been still trending down. I want to only be looking short Nvidia. And look, I can show you a chart. I'll just do this on Intel. I haven't added, but I shorted Intel off the high at basically the same moment it double topped when we were getting it that high. I'm holding on to this. If we break out above 60, we'll jump out of it. But I'm looking at VWAP in the other direction. I think, you know, Apple's got some support, Nvidia's got some resistance. Let's see if it can bust through that resistance. Maybe we get 100 again. I don't know, that's actually a possibility. We could see maybe, if the market's strong enough, there could be a double tap at 100. I like Nvidia, not sure they're out of the water completely, but this market seems to want to go. If this gets above VWAP, I think the market can really get to the upside.
Or we go over to, I mean, Palantir's now 50 cents in the money. I mean, I don't know. I hope you guys are logged in for entertainment value as well, but if you're logged in for trading, I mean, we just put this on, man, 50 cents right here in like 10 minutes. So I'm starting to take some out right now into this name, but we said we like this. If it broke it, there it goes, right there to the upside. Although we have a bunch of outs in here, I still have 65% of this trade, but we're heading up to the 200 period moving average. So there goes Palantir, decent trade so far on PLTR. Sharif, we all love gold.
I had to put that up there, Shad. It's not my favorite Austin Powers, by the way. That's the spy who shagged me. But this is a good look at gold. Technically, GLD down 0.98. That's obviously after the future gold contract breached 3,500 ever so briefly, hitting yet another all-time high. You got to go back all the way, though, to the 1980s if you want an inflation-adjusted all-time high. That takes us back into January of 1980. We'll have to wait for that inflation-adjusted all-time high sometime in the near future. Gonna tell you guys that we've got a special guest coming on in about 20 minutes with Brendo at the big desk from McFarlane Lake Mining. He goes by the name Mark Trevesio, and he is here to talk about gold. So if you're interested in finding out more about where gold can go now that we have all-time highs, make sure to catch that with Brendo at 2:45.
If this topping tail candle on gold holds true, then the dip is going to be dippier in GDX than it is in GLD. But we talked about that this morning. But if you look at the daily chart after the all-time high, we might be, if we close like this, you got to be thinking about where the pullback is going to be coming into. Obviously, a lot of people have been riding this train. The market's up. The Nasdaq's up 2 1/3. If we get back to the highs, I can see us breaking down even further. I think you're looking in the other direction here for gold, at least temporarily, but it's GDX that lost 51, which was the key level that I was watching, at least. It looks like this is I think it's gonna be a bigger push down. Like if gold loses a bid, I think GDX is gonna be a good short for sure. And I think maybe getting back into 47 wouldn't be terribly unrealistic on a higher time frame for this bad boy. So yeah, we don't really trade gold too much. What I can tell you is should I had tip open, I'll do it, oh shoot. Well, I'll get tip open in a second, but there were a lot of big Amex trades, which of course where all the ETFs are at real trading last night. So some of the ETFs were really paying off for some traders. I'll pull that up. I actually had it open for some reason. it must have closed itself. It's that whole tip issue. I always have to log back in the tip.
Yeah, I already looked at it. I didn't think the numbers were that impressive, so I didn't want to show them, but they are there. The top three
It was all. You don't usually see that market. That's,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah. I think there was that FXI imbalance as well. So yeah, I mean, good point there. So because everybody loves gold, it's a short from here. So if anybody wants to bet gold this price in a month from now, I'll take that bet lower. So, all right, right here goes Palantir, right there, still looking at that. Oh, someone said, why am I still in the TQs? So I'm in a very, very small piece, and my stop is right there at 45 bucks. So I'm looking to get stopped out there at 45 bucks. If it gets out there, it gets out there. It's fine. You know, like I keep saying, I never really want to be in any losing trades, but at the end of the day, this one should be okay. Should pair out not bad for me here on TQs. I mean, we have these two low prints right there, 44 bucks, a little under 44. So we've done well enough on this trade to sort of be patient with it. Did I just get a fill somewhere? Oh, we just got AMD fill. So there it is. So at VWAP. So this is, I don't know if, I mean, obviously you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get lighter on everything right now as we wait to see where that next shoot a drop is. I can see the futures are turning around a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit more out of Palantir right now. We're able to just to get that. We got the 200 period there at 61. So let's take a 35 out right now. Take that out. And, you know, just try to ring registers a little bit here. We have 45% left of Palantir. And let's put another one at 50. Maybe we can get out another 10% or so at that 50 marker. So there it is. So we're out there in and around that 50. There it is. So there we go. Out more of Palantir at 50. So, yeah, so far so good, you know, with this stock. But I don't know. I want to be in something here for the move. Google, I have seen here. We had some stories, or at least some movers. I don't know. I kept on hearing some Google stuff in my ear today. Looks like this is a name that's trying to get back to the 200 period moving average. That could be a decent break long there for Google. Remember, it's Tesla tonight. Yeah, Tesla. What's up, Randy? And I just, yeah, that's TTV Research. There's a big calendar, obviously, on the TTV Research page that you guys could definitely go back and find out. But right here it is, Enphase, ISRG, Capital One, I guess, one of the banks, Tesla. What's up, Joe? And CB. What is CB again? CB Chubb. Yeah, that's right. So a nice little play there as well. Tesla earnings tonight. Tesla's up 4% here. Randy, as we go. So you like that?
Uh-oh, Randy doesn't like it.
You like Tesla up 4%?
Hold on to it because, man, if we don't see 31 cents a share, I don't know. I'm going to hold my
31 cents. So they're
breath.
looking for. We have 35 cents.
I'm not optimistic.
All right.
So you think they'll miss, or you think it will go down even if they get it?
I think it'll drop. I think they'll miss. Will it be by much? That depends on deliveries. Deliveries bring home the bacon. So bring home the brisket. I had brisket for lunch today.
Hey, when you're look at you.
It was good. Was it good? Extra aioli.
Hey, when you get you know, eggs and bacon, or eggs and a protein on the side, you a bacon guy, you a sausage guy, you a pea meal guy?
Pea meal or side bacon, yeah.
All right. It's not
little
sausage.
paprika on top.
A little paprika on the
little
side.
garlic
Okay.
salt. And
Pea meal's a very Canadian thing, I find.
Yeah, well, they
Yes.
might call it back bacon. I don't know what
Yeah.
these guys call it.
Canadian
over here.
bacon.
Yeah, what's up, Canadian bacon?
That's right.
Breakfast sausage.
So we'll watch.
Maple Leafs tonight.
Yes. It'll be a tighter game. A little more
Well, yeah, if
discipline
it's
from
6-2
the
again,
Suns,
it'll be-
but it's going to be entertaining. Puck drop 7:38, folks.
Oh, good. I'm there. Yes.
You got the big signing day today.
Yeah, there's a big signing day tonight. I'm not going to be there because I have. Oh yeah, by the way, here.
Dude, the plum was actually really good. Whatever. Anyways. No, it was actually.
Randy brought
shout out
these
to Randy.
plums
He
earlier.
brought them early. They're really good.
What's up with me? You want the plum instead? Why not?
It's literally food. Why wouldn't you eat it?
I mean, I assume Randy washed it and put it in there. I don't.
Well, look, Randy could bring this fruit every
I
single
mean, we
day.
literally eat it all the time.
No,
when
he
Randy brings
puts
it.
it
I never even
down.
thought about that.
I just-
Yeah, that's right, Randy. Where the hell have your hands been, my
No,
guy?
I assumed it was washed and ate it. Why wouldn't he wash
There's
it?
nothing
when he
in
gave it
here.
to us? Most people wash
This is a
their
Moët
fruit.
top. My kid made this for me. Look, Father's Day 2020.
Yeah.
Father's Day 2020.
Why would that be dirty? Like, Randy washed the fruit. He gave it to us. It was delicious.
Great. Now
I
I'm
ate
all
it.
paranoid.
It's just going to boost your immune system anyways.
Yeah. Plum, what's out? Yeah, DJ 2 a.m. What? This is a plum.
Yeah, it's fun.
Plum.
No, it was actually perfectly ripe and sweet. Randy, oh shoot, Nicole Harris actually had a question. And
I'm just going to watch this with this napkin.
Next time he's here,
Randy
Nicole,
Randy.
Can I play Neo, Lucid, and Rivian for Tesla earnings? Well, my first question is, why would you want to play all of those for Tesla earnings? Will they sometimes, I would venture, I can't see why Neo's going to move specifically on Tesla. Sometimes you might get some sympathy. Rivian and Lucid, we've seen move on sympathy. I think for those, it's more about, hey man, if they made the bottom, and is the bottom going to hold? I don't care which one you're talking about. It's all the same thing. And for the person that asked about the Intel short, I'll get to that in a quick second. I do have a trailing stop on it because it doesn't seem to want to break $2. So as far as the play goes on Lucid, it bounces off 2 time and time again. That's the only place I would touch it. And Rivian is $10. $10.21, I think, is the most local bottom. I think you got to pick one, but you're trading off levels for each of those names. Sympathy to Tesla, they're not the same thing. None of them are Tesla. I'm not adding to Intel, but I am now bidding VWAP. It's starting to trend up. It's holding the volume weighted average price. The market's going. You can see since making that double top, you have like 3 consecutive lower highs. We break this top out. I believe my trail's in the mid 50s here, and then we'll just get up. But I already covered in front of the volume weighted average price. I'm out of 80% of it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it holds, but the market's going up. I just think we're looking a little bit strong here.
Yeah, well,
the plum's good.
This plum is really good. Yeah, I'm almost done the plum, by the way.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know what, though? For Ramin, there's probably still some plums in the other room.
Take off my watch.
One.
I'm going to go deal with Ramin immediately. I just don't want. I don't want any damage.
That's how you know when you're getting serious.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Oh shoot!
I was banging. I just wanted to show everybody. I was banging the glass so much this weekend that I had morphed this ring into like an oval shape. So last night at the glass, I was trying to bang it the other way, and I think I almost got it.
You got the fist.
Then I realized I might break it. This is a platinum ring. So I don't know if platinum's very strong or not, but I don't know. Anyways.
Let's put it this way. You do not want to do that with tungsten.
No, I know. The guy I was with there, he had a tungsten ring there.
Because the tungsten is indestructible.
He had some carbon fibers, the middle that he had cracked. So he needed to get
well, I have like multiple tungsten rings. Like I kind of learned my lesson on the first one, and now on the second one, the tungsten ring is great. Except when you do sports, you got to take it off. That was like the rule number 1. They're like, make sure if you stub your finger and this thing is still on, they're cutting off your finger to get it off. Just
that plum was.
It was absolutely delicious.
Decent plum,
and for sure washed by Randy.
I hope there's no tariffs on like plums. I wonder where this plum is from.
Oh, I'm sure it's. Actually, I have no idea.
On that note, everything gold.
It's a local caterer.
Yeah. All right. Well, short AMD, long Palantir, short the market, and long on Brendo. Let's go over to the desk.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys. As mentioned this morning, we teed it up a little bit. It's been the talk of the town for quite some time. Gold, that is, seems almost daily we're getting all-time highs, including this morning we get to $3,500. A lot of people may be a little bit cautious with jumping into the actual gold market at this point. So we wanted to take a little bit of a different angle with this conversation and highlight the junior sector specifically. Mark Trevisiol is CEO and chairman of McFarland Lake Mining, joining us this afternoon to give us not only a look at McFarland Lake. Mark, great to have you. First of all, welcome.
Great, Brendan. Thank you for having me.
We wanted to touch on not only McFarland Lake here, but give people a little bit of an insight into really what we should be looking for when we talk about quote unquote junior mining companies. We'll get to that in a sec, but I want to touch on just from a macro high level standpoint here. Give us your take. Tons of years of experience here in this industry. Give us your take on why we're seeing such explosive price action here for gold.
Yeah, well, it's good to be joining you on a day when gold hits all-time highs. What more is there to talk about? I think, it's probably what you're seeing in the market here is driven by a lot of uncertainty. And I think our neighbors to the south of us in the States have got a lot to do with what's been driving the market, at least over the last couple of months, to these levels. Investors don't like uncertainty, and I mean that's been around for hundreds of years. They'll always go to stable commodity, stable investments, and gold is that one. So you're seeing gold escalate, and that combined probably with the the U.S. bond market, which people were selling bonds a couple of weeks back, and the U.S. got quite concerned about that, and that was related to the policies that have come forward recently, trade policies. So that's we're right back to uncertainty. So that's the main driver.
All right.
But having said all that, I mean, I was at conference 6 months ago when this level of uncertainty certainly wasn't on the table. But even at that point, the world debt levels have escalated, and people at that conference were talking about $5,000 an ounce gold, and you can see us slowly building that.
Yeah, and we're inching up here almost on a daily basis. I mean, a couple banks out this morning with targets now above 4,000 in the immediate future here. Just talking a couple months down the road, if that. Let's give people a different angle here. So if we're at all-time highs, gold's been just going up and up and up and up and up. It's hard to justify buying all-time highs in an underlying asset when we've had such a run already. When it comes to junior mining companies specifically, as investors, what do we need to actually look for? What do we need to really be careful of, maybe as far as characteristics go for some of these opportunities?
Yeah, and Brennan, I've been in this business for over 30 years in the mining business, in the processing business, and to me, it comes down to two main characters, and that is people and properties. So much of the junior space is focused on properties. However, having good people to assess them, to manage them, to explore them, to set priorities, the daily priorities on what we're going to explore, how we explore, all those decision-making points in the genesis of a junior company are critical for their success. So those are the two things that I look for, and reflecting on how we built the team here at McFarland, we have we tick all the boxes. We've got a great geological team, and I think, and it expands beyond geology. We've got people with mining experience. We've got people with processing experience. So we bring all facets to the table. And if we added up all of our team's experience level, we're in the 150 years of experience between the 5 to 6 of us that we have on our team. So those are the main things that we look at, and I'll be talking about our property later on in our discussion, but those are the things that I would look at in terms of investors and how to assess these.
When it comes to the price itself, Mark, maybe touch on the difference between a junior company mining in this environment when the price itself is so elevated at all-time highs, as we've been saying, versus the past decade or so that we've seen that choppy kind of back and forth action.
Well, I think the opportunity is with the juniors in that they have a lot more upside, as long as the property has the potential to add ounces and to add value. A more established company, as an example, you put $2 to $3 million into a junior company to do exploration, and they might add maybe another 25 to 30% of their gold resources with that 2 to 3 million. They might take their gold resources from 200,000 up to 300 or 350,000. That immediately changed the valuation of the company. That's direct. It's a it's a direct linkage. So your valuation, might go up by 30 to 40% on a small spend like $2 to $3 million. A big company spending $2 to $3 million on exploration, that's a rounding error for those guys, and you won't see the net effect. So the upside on the junior side is certainly much more prevalent, and you've got all the stars being aligned here. You've got economic uncertainty, you've got very high gold prices to start with, and they're going higher. The market is supporting all this.
You touched on a couple of the key points here as far as McFarland Lake is concerned earlier, but give us a rundown here. You mentioned people, you mentioned properties. How does McFarland Lake fit into that?
Yeah, so just quickly on the people side, as I mentioned, we've got years and years, decades of experience on our side, both on the geology side and on the operating side to push this project through to feasibility. And then you look at our properties. The one that we're exploring right now, that our gem that we're finding out has got a huge opportunity for expansion here, and that's the old McMillan mine, which is located just 70 kilometers outside of Sudbury. That's kind of the biggest mining base in North America, 180,000 person population to draw from, with all the technical resources and technical support nearby. So the particular property that we've released today on McMillan, the particular results, we had a hit of almost 15 meters of 3 grams per ton, which included about 6.5 meters of 6.5 grams. And we had several other significant intersections in this drilling program. We had almost 51 meters of 3 grams per ton, which included about 5.5 grams per ton, running almost 8 meters. And we've just started drilling here. That's the key. We've got about 7 kilometers long of geological strike, and along that strike there were some other mining operations historically. So there's really good reason to believe there's a lot more gold along that 7 kilometers, and we've only explored barely 250 kilometers of that 7. So the potential here is enormous. And the other big tool that we're using that has allowed us to have these significant intersections is that the geophysical tool of electromagnetics, like the EM tool that we use, which basically sends out an electrical pulse underground, captures the response of the ground to that pulse, and from the feedback we can determine whether there's mineralization there. And every time we've got a decent signature or anomaly, we've hit gold mineralization. So that's a wonderful tool that's working excellent for us, and we see a lot of opportunity going not only along the strike length of this, but also at depth, where there's been several anomalies that have been identified for us at depth to go after. And again, why this is such a happy story is that there's only 250 meters of 7,000 meters that we've touched. So how big is this? I think there's a significant resource here to be found. Probably the next real big gold mining camp in Canada.
Great time to be involved in this industry. Great time to be involved in the space itself. Mark Trevisiol, CEO and Chairman, McFarland Lake Mining. We appreciate your insight this afternoon. Thanks for doing this, Mark.
All right. Thanks, Brendan.
There it goes, right?
Thank you, Mark.
Another way to play.
Exactly.
Like all of us, we keep talking about spot gold. Get a junior, get in there while it's hot, and there we go. So thank you for explaining all of that. Yes. All that, those measurements and everything. Check out the stock, check out the release. Thank you to McFarland. So
Yeah, McFarland, you can find them in the Canadian markets, of course, there. And while that was going on, digital gold tried to make a bit of a move there. I know it's not the real thing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Bitcoin, right? What's the best way? We always use the term barcode. I guess I'd say barcode. I don't know why, while we were doing that bit of a run there in the market, you had, call it a half an hour, like from about almost exactly a half an hour. I'm not going to count the bars. You had this consolidation off 52 on IBIT, just going sideways like nuts. And the other stock that was doing this, like Apple was doing the same thing at $200, but at least that's at 200. So right. I understand maybe why Apple was doing that same sideways action, but Bitcoin's trying to break it back out and trying to get long in front of that 52. But that was the low was literally 98, 51.98 on IBIT. So I think any dip that's even close to 52, we're going to be buying into this high. Remember, 92,000 on Bitcoin's a bit of a thing. So we were at 91.4 now. So this is more like 91.2, 91.3 if you're watching actual spot. We get a lot of questions why IBIT over many of the other ones. Like I think most of the time it's like, why not trade BITO? Right? And don't get me wrong, chart's going to look the same. I'm not here to argue about why this chart is better. BITO 1993 is the current price and 6 million in volume. So there's nothing wrong with it. IBIT, I know it's a little bit more expensive. It's not quite 3 times the price, but it's done 68 million shares in volume. So it is much more notional volume in IBIT than in BITO. So hopefully that makes sense to a lot of us that ask that for sure. Hey, good question. Ari Pages, I like this. Speaking of Canadian markets, brief thoughts on what made you and your mutual brother at Seanfidence had you switch back to the U.S. market trading. So, well, here at Real Trading, and actually when we started prop trading, there was no trading in the Toronto markets at first. And I actually don't remember the exact year that we started. When we got TSX, I don't remember the exact year it was. It was a few years into our career, and we did and still do trade Toronto stocks. But we all started. Anybody that was back in the the early 2000s, you started out here at the prop desk only trading US. So it was never really about the TSX. I wish I did remember when we got it. I feel like we were trading a long time before we got access to the TSX.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it was
a while.
Yeah, I would say maybe early 2000s maybe we got it. I don't know. It was, great question. I mean, for us, I just kind of trade. I mean, the show we have, it's 50%. I don't know. I mean, the exact numbers here. Many of you are located in the United States, right? I mean, a lot of the news that Adair is dropping or that these stories are hitting, very much U.S. based, right? And so we're going to trade the number one economy. We're going to trade these markets that are bouncing around. So, yeah, and it's just, I'll show you an example. I'm just going to call this up here. Like one of the most actively traded names in Canada, TD Bank. So, I mean, if you just look at the level 2, you could trade it very, very similarly to that in the United States, right? 4.25 million shares. If we look at TD.NY right now, only 800,000 shares in New York. Right, and actually the chart, it's going to be the same. I mean, there's going to be some currency hedging and whatnot, depending on what which dollar you're trading, the Canadian or the U.S. But some of these names like CGC or Weed or Tilray or some of these other names that are dual listed. I mean, you could look here at Shopify.Toronto, right? So 2.3 million shares today, and the level 2 looks pretty decent, right? 8 cents, 7 cents, 6 cents worth of a spread there. So wait a minute, how many millions of shares did I say that was? 2.3. So if I go over here to Shopify, over on the NASDAQ, 6.3 million shares, right? So again, it's just a matter of like which market you're comfortable with, some of the different nuances with the different imbalances that come out, and maybe the way the halts would work. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty identical. The trading, the fee structures are very, very similar to that in United States, v Canada as well. So we just stay with the U.S. stocks, more liquidity, and then they have names like Amazon and Tesla, and I think Neil and I would be hard pressed name you 5 tech stocks in Canada, right? So it's just it's our familiarity with what we're doing around here that gets us going. And plus, you know what the other thing too is that this stock is only listed in the United States, and that would be Palantir. We just touched 60s right there on PLTRs. So far, so good here on Palantir, my friends. Profit X. Scan that QR code. I do? All right. Well, scan that QR code immediately. Get on to Profit X. Let me call up what I'm supposed to tell you guys. But if you go to Profit X right now, you'll be able to see immediately everything that they have to offer. It's Profit X. If you want top tier odds and total control, well then Profit X brings you peer-to-peer picking, open API access. Attention, all our API friends. Cost-efficient trading all in one place. Look, it's like day trading your favorite sports. Make offers, match plays, and even manage your risk with diverse prediction options. Don't just place picks. Exchange them. ProfitX is a smarter, faster way to play. You can use code TRADERTV, all one word. Get 2% cash back. Go check it out. It's ProfitX. And I already bet the Leafs to win the series at minus 168 or so. I'm not sure what it is now. We can go check that out on ProfitX. But the good thing about it is I'm already locked into it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can call it up. What do you have?
I just wanted to see.
You have the series price.
All I have is I was just looking at the money line tonight. I was going to ask you what you're getting on the Leafs at another source, because right now you're getting minus 150 on the money line. The spread, it's 1.5, and you're getting 64. So we've done this before live, where we'll check it out and you can sort of see like what the open book is at any one of those bets. And like right in here, like I've clicked it, like I can put down whatever our stake. We have 915 profit bucks, so I can put a portion of that on it here.
915 profit bucks. Okay, they have the Maple Leafs money line at minus 162. So what do we have over
150.
there? 150. There, look at that.
Right, 150.
That's
Show
already
on screen for a second. I want it just so you guys can see.
It's already worth it, my guy.
Right there, minus 162. You're getting 150 on ProfitX. The open interest is 7,500. Hey, man, people are on the Leafs. It's not the biggest. Look, at ProfitX, you're probably going to find, if you go to NBA, I'm sure there's going to be more action on the NBA. There was huge action on the Masters. Was gigantic. Right. The Masters actually had more money betting on it than some of the biggest games in the NCAA tournament, which I was a little bit surprised with. So it was a lot of liquidity.
750
on.
Oh, that's good for me.
On golf there. So yeah, lots of opportunities. You can bid ask. You can sit looking for a better price and just hope to get picked up.
Look at this. Look at Ramin over here.
That's some good.
I hope she doesn't ask for a raise soon. I mean, she should get it. I mean, this is that's very, very nice of you there, Ramin. So yeah, just compare the odds. I mean, whatever. We're we like to talk about that and give you guys a good opportunity with 2% back plus better lines. Look, it's just obviously ProfitX, is sponsoring the show, but it's one thing where we talk about these different sponsors, and they're all great. I mean, we use eSignal, ProfitX, we've used Trade Ideas. So all of these recommendations, like Trade the Pool, we've had many of their analysts on as well. We vetted all of this, and that's why me and Neil want to show you that, look, if you're not into online sports gambling, I mean, that's fine. Like, I'll throw 20, 30, like, I have $150 or something on the Leafs to win the series. Cool. So it's not like, throwing huge amounts of money at this stuff. But if you can save, that 10 cents or 15 cents on a 150, you're putting $15 in your pocket or whatever.
Seriously adds up.
And then if you're degenerate, like many of you probably are, then that adds up at the end of the day to hopefully making a little bit of money there. So, I like the stock of ProfitX, regardless of a sponsor or not. All right, I just want to tell you guys that I'm getting out another piece right here. We just got it actually on Palantir, because there it goes right there. This is the trade we put on early. We put it on right when we started the show at 2:05, and I said if we break, it's too bad we didn't get more down there. I was waiting at 50s for more. We talked about that level, but at the end of the day, it broke VWAP right there. I said, if there's going to be a stock to go long, for me it was going to be Palantir. We had the long early on this name. It worked like crazy. Never take enough money on it, but that's for me to deal with. But at the end of the day, I like the long. It's a good move there, back to the upside. We did get stopped out as we were on that discussion, but it's not like we really got stopped out. That was, I think it was less than 5% of our TQs trade, so we got out there. What's the point of going long Palantir and short TQs? Not much there. And then AMD, where we should be getting stopped out. Where's my stop out for AMD? I feel like it didn't work. 86.36. Okay, so that's right here. So we should be getting, there it is. So we're, I don't know, 86, 36? That was weird.
Dude, it just hit, didn't it? I don't know. My trail's a cent away on Intel.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there was a dark pull there because when I looked, it was at 33, but it doesn't matter. I'd be stopped out right there anyways. So there's the stop on that. We were just playing that little top right there, but we were short from here. We did get stopped out, by the way, when we had that, and this is why you have to have stops. We get this hat off me. Although it's probably better I wear one. If we, that AMD trade, we got stopped out there on that auction. So there was an auction at 110. There today where the market ripped up. If the market ever rips on auctions, I am going the opposite way every single time. Rips or tanks. Forget about it. The market doesn't care. I mean, it does care.
It's the rubber band play.
Right. It's going to have to just continue. Like if it just goes up in that 1 minute, and I mean, I could take off here. Maybe the TQs, here, let's just look at the NASDAQ actually, because I don't have any fills on that. It's just like, if it only stays up there for 1 minute, like it did, rates 110. I guess it didn't really, where is it on the Qs? Where did that happen? Oh, it must have been right here. Yeah, right here. So it just went from, it just doesn't look as dramatic because it's a $400 stock, but 445 right there, 446, up to 447. So it goes $1. It can't even hold that. So like just the very next minute, you're already back through half. So all I was doing, and my stop on that AMD trade was the high, which was 87.13. So we had 20 cent worth of a stop to get $1.50. But that, I'm always going to be using these local highs as the stop for when we get like like sort of an instant reaction there to something other than the Fed or Trump or tariffs. Right? I mean, obviously the bond auction, all that is important. I mean, I don't want to throw anything at that because we saw the whole Carney orchestrated move that caused Trump to, shout out to Canada, caused Trump to make that move there last week, which ripped the market. So they're definitely looking at treasuries and the bond market and whatnot. So you definitely have to watch out for those kind of moves. But I do want to fade whenever something like that comes through. But we do have to keep our ear to the ground. I mean, we've got Adara on the desk, obviously. If there is any news that comes through this afternoon, we'll be all over that.
Well, there was a rumor that Trump might speak. That we might be here. It was that we might be hearing from him later in the day. Was all that it was. So I don't know whether that's going to be true or not. We'll certainly find out at some point. Just very quickly, my trail kind of didn't hit just yet. But if you're looking at the chip names and pointed out by a few of our viewers, Micron actually leading the way in chips, just breaking the high of the day. Look at the continuation on this bad boy. I don't like it into overhead resistance at 70.5. Maybe dips into 70. We did get IBIT off that 52. Tried to add at 52.02, I believe. Did not get filled down there. I've now moved that back up to where we got in at 52.07. So I'm trying to add at 52.07. I am still bidding right in front of 52 here on IBIT. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
I just want to clarify, it's not necessarily a rumor that Trump will speak later. Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, said we may be hearing from him later. So if it is a rumor, it was actually started by the White House press secretary herself at the very tail end of her conference. The last time she did something like that, she said we may see President Trump in a Tesla later, and that was in fact the case. So we'll have to wait and see. But the other thing is we already know we're going to hear from him later. Why? Because he's scheduled to attend the swearing in of new SEC Chairman Paul Atkins. That'll be happening at 4 p.m. Eastern. So we will be hearing from him, or at least seeing him later today. It's unclear what Caroline was referring to, but I guess we'll find out. I also want to mention, this wasn't super market moving, but I think interesting to note here, Charles Gasparino, who is a reporter here often with some of these tariff-related scoops. He is a frequent Fox Business contributor. He said that apparently some sources are saying they're basically downplaying comments that were made earlier by Treasury Scott Bessent with regards to China process. They actually said that the de-escalation will only depend on China's willingness to negotiate. Apparently also, we heard earlier Politico reporting that Scott Bessent and the trade team are trying to reach deals with India, South Korea, Japan, and Australia. But Charles Gasparino is saying that apparently these deals are not imminent. They're not going to be right away. So that kind of echoes comments we heard earlier. Just to recap here, some of these trade deals that we're reportedly seeing do rely a lot on the other party and negotiations therein. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adara. And yeah, I see a lot of power hour just hit. You definitely saw that graphic in there. So we got about an hour left to go. And remember, it is a big afternoon. You got earnings, obviously led by Tesla. You'll have the entire gauntlet. It's going to be the dream team up there. You're going to have Sean Adara and Sharif joining. Anytime there's bigger earnings, that's what we try to do around here. And Tesla leading the way. We're going to get Google, we'll get Alphabet on Thursday, but Tesla leading the way. So I said we were about a cent or two away on the trail on Intel, so I didn't add to the position. If I short this again, it has to be because the top held. And that was at 1970. I mean, the high was 1974. The short was at 1969. Good year. 1969. That was I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was like Denny McClain won like 31, something like that. Good year in baseball. If we get back to that high, that's where I would look to short it one more time. But I like IBIT to the long side. I looked to see if GDX was going to maybe shoot to that 51 level. It's starting to bounce a little bit, but it was like morning support, afternoon resistance, and then if I can just go over to the 15-minute as well, yesterday's low. And then I guess even the close on Friday, so even more confluence. I think GDX, I don't know, I just feel like GDX is a better fade because I think it'll fade more than spot gold will. That's my take because it's been weaker at the high than gold has been. So I think you get a little bit more oomph. Going to watch this, especially going into the close. Like if he's like maybe a sell imbalance on one of these would be interesting. So I'm going to have eyeballs on GDX for this afternoon, specifically off that 51. It would be pretty cool if it did like a buy imbalance into 51, then flip or something like that, so you could play the short.
Yeah, we'll look for some of those imbalances coming out at 350. We'll try to highlight them as we wind up seeing them. All right, more outs on Palantir. We got those outs. So right now I have about 20% left of that. I did want to just quickly go over what's on our Trader TV research page right here because this is what's coming through tonight. Did I just get filled on something? No. Okay. All right. Where it is right here. So, okay, this morning we already had GE. We've sort of talked about some of these. RTX, Lockheed Martin. Tonight, Intuitive Surgical, ISRG. Chubb is going Enphase, SAP, Capital One, Tesla. So, the big one that we'll be talking about tonight will be Tesla, but we'll also check out what Enphase is doing. We did have some movement there from First Solar as well. So that could be, something to look at as we move ahead tonight. And then tomorrow, man, Boeing, like in the pre-market, we saw that move higher for Boeing today. That could be something that we look at, right? Vertiv, whatever. AT&T. I mean, a lot of you are invested in that, of course. If you have your 401ks or whatever, there's a lot of AT&T love again with the yield and whatnot. Is that Philip Morris? What is that? PM, I guess? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Philip.
Okay, good one there. O'Reilly Auto Parts. I just heard something in my ear about Carvana, so we can go have a look to see what's going on over there. ServiceNow, again, as we talk about more cloud names, and, IBM is right there tomorrow. Lam Research, Chipotle. That tomorrow night's going to be great. I mean, I've been buying IBM since I was a wee one, so that's one that's been in the account forever and ever and ever, and that's a great one because that's a dividend payer. So we've really, really liked IBM for quite a long time, and probably too long, to be honest with you, but whatever. I don't.
It's been doing well lately. It's like
it's
like a renaissance for it, but like
good.
now.
Yeah, good.
Ish.
So and then look what comes again on Thursday. I mean, huge, and then Friday not too much. Thursday right here. I mean, we've got Alphabet, Intel, Skechers, T-Mobile, PepsiCo. Pre-market trades, PepsiCo, American Airlines, Merck as well. So
they've been getting
some more interesting names coming through. I mean, we're pretty excited to cover them all for you. So join us on the market recap show tonight when we definitely hit up some Tesla, and you can go find that all at Trader TV Research there. Thank you to Adara for putting up all of those stats and those graphics and all the work that is involved in doing that. So just quickly before we'll throw it back over to Neil and figure out what's going on, if there's any other trades, and to Adara. Tesla right now up 4.5%, not doing too much. The trade that I like is the breakdown. Right now it's into power hour, and we could see not much action heading into earnings. So we'll wait for some news, and we've got Adara.
We don't have any news, but I just wanted to say thank you very much, Sean, for shouting out our TTV research calendars. But in case you didn't know, we actually have a daily calendar as well as a weekly calendar. I just posted just now the calendar for tomorrow, April 23rd. So this gives you a bit cleaner of a view of each of the names reporting, as well as the time they're expected to report, alongside some economic data. So this is basically a streamlined day-to-day view. Again, I usually post them around this time every single day on X at TTV Research. So make sure to check out this calendar in addition to the weekly calendar and check out all of the posts we are making. We're going to have some fun stuff for you ahead of earnings tonight. Back to you.
Fun indeed. Boeing has been doing pretty well. That's another one. There's such a long list of names when you get into real earnings season, which really starts this week. Nothing against the banks, nothing against Netflix, but I think you really get started this week. Carvana on volume with a bit of a push down. This is a strong stock today, up 8% and running into trouble at 215, but a big heavy candle as it just lost the volume weighted average price. Anybody if you're in this one, I would imagine most longs have been doing pretty good, but the VWAP long is threatening to break down here in Carvana. There's no story or anything, even though I did hear it in my ear. Nothing too crazy. We're still looking to pick up IBIT on the dip back into that 52. It did just wick the high again, so it got right back into 92,000 or in front of 92,000, which is at that 52.30-ish. It's like 28 is the high. And if we're going to pull back, we're going to keep buying off the 52 even point. See if we can't get something going there. Apple doesn't seem to want to break away from 200. It's kind of weird. Like it's going but it's not going. It's a weird one. Let's see if it holds the way it was before. Because I feel like if you just get down in here, it was 199.80 where you had all that barcoding. If it gets in there and there's buyers again, then why wait for VWAP? It's already 308. So I think getting VWAP on this, like you're shorting something. If you're waiting for VWAP on Apple, then I should be looking for something short in anticipation of that. So I look at this 199.80 where you got this barcode before. If we catch any buyers off Apple, then add that to IBIT that we're looking for dip buys. Brenworks saying there's a small cap moving. MITK. I haven't seen anything popping off. MyTech spiking? Not really. It's spiking, but this is 340,000 volume. So yeah, when these hit, I always make sure, most of my things have a volume filter, so this wouldn't have hit any of my scanners. Good look, you want to see things breaking out, but very low volume on this MITK for sure. So Apple, IBIT, looking at the same couple of things for this dip buy. Let's go to Adara again. We got news again.
So to let you guys know, we still don't have any word on whether or not Trump is speaking today, as Caroline Leavitt hinted he might. But Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, apparently set to speak tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on, quote, the state of the financial system. So we'll have to wait and find out what that means, but it'll happen tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Again, Scott Bessent set to speak here on the state of the financial system. We'll have to find out what that means tomorrow when he makes these comments. Back to you.
All right. Right here we have, thanks, Adara, we have Palantir here going. I just averaged it. I mean, we had 10% left. We talked about that. So I put on another piece right now. Not the same as shares we had before. If this breaks through 94, which it's trying to do right now, I'm giving it to 93.95. If it breaks that, then we're gone. The market's trying to pull back. It's at VWAP. I think it's worth it. We're just going to take 10-cent hit. So there it goes. Bye-bye. See you later. So I don't know why we're hitting the fail. It was a money bag yo trade. So, we make the money there on Palantir. We didn't make what we did here. But that was a good trade, man. We had 90s. This is what I'm saying. Like when you get it up there and then your first pieces out are 27.30s. So that's already 20 cents. Then we only lost 10 cents right there. And it looks like it's trying to come right back. All right, I'll be stubborn one more time. I'll put on a quarter of a unit here. And I'm going to give this one to 93.84 on the way down, coming in again. And so I would just want to say this. Thank you, Bart Simpson. You're a really smart trader, bro. I mean, the thing about this is I have some updates. I did finally cancel, as I think it's the end of May. Disney Plus is gone out of our house there because, we watch The Simpsons. We don't really watch too much else there on Disney. But, we'll still, I don't know if we'll get the ad tier or what, but I'm not watching it that much. And it's like, I don't know, it's not like the $20 a month really matters or anything like that. It's just, not using it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if it comes in to play at some point. But, Netflix, we have the 4K tier, the blah, blah, blah. I pay for my parents. They are part of the account as well. We have whatever the highest thing is. My kids watch that instead. So I don't know. And also we have Amazon Prime, but we don't have the ad tier one for that. We just have the normal one. And then there must be another streaming service.
There's Apple.
Apple, we have Apple, but Apple's all bundled together. So we only pay.
You don't have Crave?
No, not Crave, no.
Oh.
But I do watch stuff that's on Crave.
I got you. No, I assumed you had Crave. Anyways,
Yeah. I used to have that.
I get to answer Ken's question here, and this is kind of an easy answer for me. Thoughts on holding SOXL long-term since that single digits? No. You never want the leveraged ETFs for long-term holds. The decay is going to kill you. So trading vehicles, sure, absolutely. But for long-term holds, no, decay is going to absolutely get you and bite you in the butt. And then again, you said here, because it's at a single digit, you shouldn't, the actual price of something, like if it's a significant price, sure, historical, that kind of stuff matters, but the actual price just because it's cheap means nothing. Like Ford isn't good because it's at $9 and you can get a deal because it's cheap. And in that case, we'd all just buy penny stocks here and there. Like Netflix is $1,000 and you may not trade it as a day trade, but it's a great stock. So, but the bigger thing is the decay. It's a 3x semiconductor bull name. That's just not the thing you want to hold long term. You want the regular ETF if you can. So Apple did pull back in. 199.70 is this actual bottom. It did bounce off it the first time. I've thrown the stop underneath the 60 level to try to give it 30 pennies in here. And then at 1-to-1, I've got an offer, see if we can pop back upside. But it doesn't seem like we want to. And what I'm looking at is the market coming back in, Apple respecting that, and Bitcoin not. So clearly, like it's a better long because it's going higher as the market's coming down. Apple's just doing what the market is doing. So it's weird because my win on Apple was going to be a short, and then if we break this low, we're going to take an L. Bitcoin and Apple had the same barcode, so I played support on both of them, and it looks like Apple wants to give it up. So if we lose this in about 5 cents, that's where my stop is. I'm not moving it. I'm not averaging into it. I think you could get to VWAP if you break this bottom to the downside. Sell Tesla, I just saw someone say. I mean, I'm assuming this is breaking down just like everything else is. I got this eyeball on Micron, actually. Oh, the Micron reversion looks spicy. Where's my daily chart? It was the 15-minute on Micron. This high on Micron at 70.5, and right now it's breaking trend. So I didn't have a reason as to why Micron was super strong. Couldn't come up with anything, but it has just broken the trend line. I'd be a little bit late to this because price ideally should be 70.25 if you're taking the true break of that trend.
All right, so we're still long here, Palantir. We talked about 10-cent stop, so we'll try to take 10 cents on the first piece if we can get it. I do want to go short the market, though. I feel like, we're underneath, but the worry for me is look at Bitcoin right now, 91.6, like really working. I know you're in IBIT, so that's going to be a good one. TQs, though, I was thinking about shorting against that level right there, but I don't want to do it now because if I do that, you just have to sort of do the math. That's 45.20. You're at 44.80, so that's 40 cents worth. That gets us right to VWAP. And I just don't think that it's worth the risk to reward there to go short right now in the middle on a stock. Oh, come on, Palantir. Okay, but at the end of the day, hopefully this can make that move back up, and then I would short it maybe against that high, but then try to get, I like the short, it's just not at these levels. I would rather it break through VWAP and then try to maybe use 45 as an anchor of some sort. So we'll see about that. I'm going to try to be as patient as I can be with that trade. So yeah, buddy, that's the Palantir trade right now. We'll see if that can start to cook for us a little bit. Hopefully it does get back there to the upside, a couple outs. We actually just got a 20 fill, actually, my bad. So I was wondering, I was like, what? That shouldn't have made that big of a difference to the net, but it goes from 94s up to 94.20 there, and we actually get an 18 fill. So that's going to save me a little bit here. As there goes, all I had to do was say I like the market short there, but there it goes. It's a nice downside move now for the market, so that's nice. But again, we're still sort of in this Palantir. We only got out of 20%, but the math will still check out. I mean, if we break down there, we'll get out, and it was nice to take that fill. But, 2-to-1 is great. We'd like that. Should have maybe put out a little bit more. But I want to be in this name in case this run does happen because we can get back up to the 200 period, let alone the 50 period, which is 40 cents. So, as soon as I say that, it looks like we're about to lose that offer right now. So a little bit of a break lower than here, and we are punching out of PLTR. Looks like the short. Obviously, I see that you got out of Apple there because the short looks like it's coming back in right now.
Yeah, and the second I hit offer on Micron, it already is dropping in here. I don't want to chase it because it skews the risk to reward on what was maybe even still is the strongest chip stock out there. There's your upward trend. It's not a clean line. I can draw that trend line a little bit better, but you can see it breaking. I need to get picked up off the offer here. At least IBIT's holding up, but Apple, I mean, it came right back into what was the prior support. There's it breaking. Wait for VWAP, man. Like, VWAP's another $1. Yeah, almost a full $1. $1 from where I was, but almost a full $1 because we dropped another 25 cents in here. IBIT's still going to be able to hold up, at least for now. You know, it's still holding on to that 52. It's a bit different today. You know, Bitcoin's been showing a lot of strength, relatively speaking. So I think that one can still be good off to 52. Yeah, maybe Micron is going to be too late. Just going to look at some other names in the chip space, see if there's a similar setup like this and not want to chase it. My brain goes from Micron to Marvell for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like they're not the same thing. They're not even that remotely related. Wow, I guess that was a good VWAP trade. If you're a VWAP trader, then you could have had an alert that said, Marvell is hugging VWAP as the market's trying to go. That's about as good as it's going to get off volume weighted average price. But obviously, there's no entry there for that bad boy. Getting back into Intel, I could have just done. I trailed out of Intel and could have jumped right back in when that broke trend. But Micron is so much further from VWAP. It's just a better fade setup because one has 10 cents to VWAP, the other one has $1 to VWAP. So getting into this is going to make way more sense, but it's dropping like an absolute rock here. So yeah, I'm not going to chase this move. We're a little bit too slow and too late on that Micron trade, so we'll slap a little bit of a fail. Like you got to hit it on that way down, ideally, instead of wait to get it after the bar has gone. But now we're headed downside in earnest. Shout out to Ali. Thank you, Ali. Appreciate you. Welcome to Trader TV Live. New membership there. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the show. And don't forget, even when the market closes, you ain't got to go anywhere. It's a big earnings day today. We didn't actually even look at Enphase. At some point, we'll get to that chart because, oh boy, if it does any kind of a bounce, it's so bad. It's so bad that it doesn't take much, and it's got a short float. It would not surprise me. That's the bigger double-digit mover tomorrow, or I guess tonight, than Tesla, obviously.
Yeah, we already said that about Tesla, like it's so bad it's good, right? All right, well, we have a new position right now. I'm going to go short Tesla. So I'm short right now at 35s. I want to give it up to VWAP. Let's just see what winds up happening here into the close. You know, we've sort of talked about where the stocks come from, what it looks like, and let's just see what it wants to do now. So Tesla, trying to get a little bit lower. I'm going to set that up right now, find out where we're going to. Here, you know what? Let's just bid some right there. I mean, just as quick as you like. I mean, you guys can see the winners right now. There it is right there, man. We just take on 40 cents right there, so it's a nice move to the downside right now for Tesla. Let's see how much lower we can go. We'll take out like 2 or 3% right there. Let's take out a little bit more if we can get a 90 fill. And that's, Neil, what exactly are we doing right now? We just put that trade on and there it goes. Nice move to the downside for Tesla. So a smooth 40 cents in right now on TSLA. And hey, man, shout out to Penguin Dynasty. Shout out to all the real ones that are out there right now because we just said we are looking for the short on the TQs. Didn't have too much. I had some confidence in it, but I was like, let's play and see what happens down there at VWAP. So if you guys have that, boom, there it is. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat for watching because your boy's lit one more time. Nice downside play here for Tesla. So yeah, boom, 50 cents right there in the money. Tesla automatically becomes one of the top traded names right there today just with this trade. And look, sometimes I trade stock irresponsibly because I'll use like the same share size on a Tesla that, you know, I'll use on an Intel or something like that. So it's really nice when this kind of stuff works out for us. I still have some faith on this name to go a little bit lower, but you do see a stacked bid a little bit now at 236. So we're starting to empty. You know what? I'll empty out a little bit more right there. We can take some more out at 05. So right now we only have 50% left. I just took quick trade. That happened real quick. So we'll take a little bit out right there. We're going to watch out for VWAP, a break of 237 before we really get in trouble. But we're just having some fun around here right now. So I hope you guys are also enjoying yourself watching the show. So yeah, that's about it for me right now. We'll just wait to see what winds up happening with Tesla there. And more money, more problems.
More money, more problems, and great song. Great look over there on Tesla. Okay, just very quickly, we were in Nike earlier. Nike broke down like everything else did. It then trended up since this bottom here at 56.8. It just broke the trend, so I'm short Nike to this high at 57.46. Let's go to Adara.
We have another earnings infographic for you guys here today. This is our implied moves calendar. I usually make these on big earnings nights. And of course, Tesla makes this a massive earnings night. 4:10 p.m. Tesla here with an implied move of 10.7%. It's worth noting I got these percentages around, I would say, 2 p.m. So they do sometimes change. But at that time, I did see about 10.7%. Chubb at 4:15 with a 5.6%, but these 405 names all having decent implied moves. Enphase 12.4, Intuitive Surgical with about a 7.8% implied move, and Capital One Financial 5.9% implied move. Join that earnings party with myself, Sean, Sharif, and special guest Brian Shannon. You can check him out. Of course, he'll be joining us, so check out that earnings party. We'll have more earnings infographics to come as well. Back to you.
Who do you think you are?
Oh my God.
All right, Pete Weber in the house. Oh,
Bye-bye, Tesla.
Oh, baby.
Another one. Another.
All right, Tesla right now, nice downside play, just 70 cents in the money. We have about half, a little bit less than half now because we just took one fill there at 236. Let's see how low can we go right now. That was Sharif that hit that who is the man I am right there. We love that one as we continue to go lower. Let's hope that Nike and IBIT continue to print for you, my guy, because we're just sitting back right now and watching this money sort of drop in. What's up to Blackhawk JP? What's up to Stanley Game? And everybody that's in the chat right there. What's up to my guy Nick Clemenzi there as well. Okay, here we go. Right now, nice downside move into 235.50. Hey, as quick as you like, Neil. We're in that club one more time. So, hey, man, if you're a trader and you're here with us, there's the trade right there into the afternoon. Let's see what winds up happening with Tesla. Okay, you have the highlights? Okay, so here we go. So I just put this out on my Instagram. Couldn't be more proud of her. So we're in the blue. There it is. Bang. See a goalie. Thank you. We went the opposite side right there. There's some nice music to this as well. Watch the shot. Where'd that shot go? The goalie's like, I don't even see it. Here she goes right here. Grinding. There's the grind. Here's the music. We can play. Oh, maybe we can't play it. There it is. Watch this from this angle. Where's the hash mark? Oh, yeah, that's there.
Over.
Now, this goalie's like, here comes the goalie. Oh, no worries. I got this time. She's not going to do it again to me, is she? Whoops. Okay. Anyways, there it is right there. So proud of that one. Let's keep that college tuition. Let's see what winds up happening. But it's a nice move right there. Today is signing day as well. So we're very, very proud.
Do you have the?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Spot. Sean was showing me the signing day thing at lunchtime. I'll give you a chance to get that. It's pretty cool for everyone that's
I'm just a little bit
knows
proud.
all about this.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we don't know anything about it.
So this is the signing table that she will be at tonight, making that move. So yeah, man. Very, very proud of her, needless to say. Yeah, so this is, and if you're wondering where all my money goes, yeah, so it's, but I could not be more happy to do that. I mean, that's, that's why I push the envelope here every single day, and that's why I'm here. So that's what we're doing, man. I trade for the family and for you guys, but it's been a really, really great experience, and I, do recommend everybody get some of that trading bug inside of you. And family life is life. So that's what we're doing. And tonight, unfortunately, I'm going to miss signing day because my son is at basketball tonight. So I'm going to go home and deal with that guy in NBA 2K. Then we're going to go, he's going to play some basketball. But I told you the story already. The guy likes the Lakers because of LeBron. He didn't even know who Luka was. And now all of a sudden the guy's draining threes on me with Luka. But I was the Raptors and getting smoked. So then I switched over to OKC.
That's what I'm saying.
And then he couldn't handle SGA anymore. So we're really excited. Now, I'm just excited for her. I have no idea.
Don't take it easy on the kids in the video games. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Because the games are so ridiculous now that I can't even, there's a few that my daughter plays. I can't even handle. So when I get my chance and we play Mario Kart, I'm just like, look, you're going to learn.
Mario Kart is one
real because that's a game that I can play. Yeah. Some of this other crap.
You have to represent hard in Mario Kart. I mean, that's a game from our
That's
era.
It's us. You can't.
The problem with these NBA games.
Don't even trust.
Dude, I just push 2 buttons, shoot and pass. Like, I don't know those, like, alley-oops, or I don't know the little jukes back and forth and all this kind of stuff. So I just I just hit those buttons and, anyways.
How many, this is a weird one. I like this because you can probably find a line like this somewhere. Where was it? Shoot, I just thought, how many free throws do you get with SGA? Like, how many free throws attempts do you think?
You shoot a lot in the NBA.
You know you're hardcore if that's the line that you're looking for. That's an interesting player prop if you're into it. How many threes is our man Ant going to have to try to take instead of driving?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Lakers is tonight.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, tonight's going to be a good night,
I like Ant. I love Ant.
We've got the Maple Leafs.
I just
want to
see that dude attack. I know the threes are what everybody does.
Oh, NBA Jam would be game over, man, because I'd be heating up. You know?
I would.
I'm going to see if I can download it. We have PlayStation
Haven't you
Plus.
always wanted to just get the actual arcade, though?
Yeah, we had it. I mean, my friend there had it, Zelanka.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Zelanka had it. Jeremy. Yeah, he had it growing up. So one of my friends, well, a mutual friend, but more mine because it's in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it was in your
Yeah, I used to go over there all the time after school. His parents bought him in the prime NBA Jam
See what I'm saying?
era. They bought him an NBA Jam machine. So...
You know what we were doing at the corner store?
I mean, but I'm from the hood. But
No. At the corner, look, and you know this story too. There was a convenience store near our high school, and there was an NBA Jam machine, and there was a Mortal Kombat machine, and I'm just saying there was a quarter on a string, and it wasn't me that did it.
I'm still willing to deal with everybody at all video games.
It wasn't me that did it, but the quarter on the string actually did work. It probably doesn't work anymore. I'm just gonna say. Jail who?
Neil should be in jail.
First of all, Sharif just yelled out, "Jail him." High schoolers don't need to
I did hear the word jail him, but I'm not sure if it's in reference to you. Could have been somebody else, you know.
I don't even want
Tourette syndrome over here.
No.
Yeah.
Jail him. Let's go to the desk. Thanks, Sharif.
He said jail him hurts.
For First Solar. First Solar just had a little bit of a run here. There was a news account on X posting that Citron Research announced a long position. I looked into this. Citron did not seem to announce any position. They haven't posted for a couple weeks. So just be aware here. FSLR popping, then dropping as traders seem to realize that, at least to our knowledge as of right now, Citron Research has not announced a long position in the stock. So be careful here, FSLR. This one was really strong today after some, deals being made here on steel tariffs coming out of Southeast Asia with regards to the U.S. Back to you.
Yeah, sub something. Yeah.
No,
I was just there. I was literally at our high school this weekend. I drove right by it. Obviously, in the field right now is multiple cricket things. Yes. Okay, so here we go, man. We've got this one. It's a slapper. It's the face slapper right now for Tesla. It's just come right back into 235 change. So I'm going to bid again there. I just put a bid at 235.47. I'm just going to cross the market a little bit here. Punch a little. We punched out and all of a sudden create a little cascade there. But all right, so we punched and it went down. So I don't know. Punch some 61s there out. So we're getting lighter and lighter on this trade, man. We only have 20%. So we rang the register down there when we were getting a little hype down there at 235.50. So remember, heading into earnings play, this is not like a normal day. People will be positioned for Tesla. Maybe there's, some, word on the street type of stuff, what the buzz is about this number. So I don't know what they're going to give out, but well, I already said this before. I said my piece this morning, and it's like, it's so bad it's good, right? So we just got another fill there, I guess. We got our 47s, actually, that we were waiting for. So, yeah, I mean, this morning it made sense to me for this rip here today. Now, for us to play like Magic 8 Ball with Tesla earnings, I don't know if that's going to be the right decision or not. So I'm just going to sit here. Neil, we're $1 in the money on this, so I think it's worth waiting around. I'm just going to bid right down here, 235.20 again. We'll put out another 5%. So right now, I have 20% left of this trade. That's it. So we'll exit that appropriately, hopefully, at time. And I'm bidding 235.20. So if that fills, then there it is, man. That will be a smooth $1.10, and we'll hold the rest. Come on. Come to Papa down there, 235.20. Anyways, it's a good trade that came on. We put a good one on for you on Palantir. I hope you're Nike. I mean, we've been
It just broke VWAP
nice.
In here. I got some out of VWAP. We're getting a rest out at 56.8. Why 56.8? Trend line bottom where we started the trade. Look, my stop is in here at 40s, and we got 27s. I'm still offering. That's right. I was actually still offering above 30 because I wanted to get shares at 33, but we took the break down at 27 instead. Like, we're when it broke 29. So you're holding underneath VWAP and looking pretty good. For whatever reason, I think the question, someone that actually asked, and we got a little bit sidetracked there for a lot of things, and why was Bitcoin so strong? it doesn't matter. You have the new SEC. You have the new SEC chair coming in. You had the last couple of days. You've seen relative strength in Bitcoin. It did bounce locally and make some good big technical break when it took out 88.888, 88.888 when that got taken out. So there's a lot of things that have it relatively strong. As for today, who knows? It just is. And I think favoring the long makes some sense. So I do like this on Nike. It was First Solar and that Citron thing that looks interesting to me. Because my first thought was, they used to be like the short sellers. I'm just going to give them a bit of a slow clap because it must be difficult to go from you short something and when it's already breaking down or at a low, you come out with your short seller report and you're looking for the exit liquidity. They're making a long call on a stock that's at the bottom.
Allegedly, they did not do this.
Oh, what? They didn't? Okay, never mind. Okay, so... Oh, I hate that it's fake news. Because I was really hoping... Because I was trying to give them credit, but if it's fake news, then I can't give Citron any credit. I was kind of hoping that would be true because I feel like that's actually an intriguing call because you could... If you break out on end phase tonight and this gains a 50 period, that's a good technical setup. Anyway, let's go back to it there. It sucks that that's fake news. I was trying to give Citron some credit there. Apparently, it's not real.
Who's Citron?
So here's the thing. Citron has made long calls in the past, but there was an account here on X posting that Citron had made a long call on First Solar. I have not seen anything to support this. And their last post on X, which is where they announced all of their positions, they also announced their MSTR short, which dropped the stock $100 in a single day. It's always announced on X. They have not posted on X since April 2nd. So I'm not seeing anything to suggest they did in fact go long First Solar. As you can see here, we had this pop into 136 when this was spreading around X. Then we dropped here back to this previous support level of 134. And again, I've not seen anything to support this in fact being the case. I've also seen this account that shared this. Sometimes in the past as well, they will repurpose old stories. So it is worth noting, always exercise caution when you see news on X. It can be market moving, but that doesn't always mean it's accurate. That is why, even when I mentioned this story earlier, it was just to let everyone know that this news does appear to be fake. Back to you.
Yeah, and that's important.
Makes sense,
yeah, that's important.
Yeah, I mean, good. So, by the way, we do get that 235.20 right there on Tesla, and I just want to update everybody on, just in case you guys are in this trade or looking to make this trade or whatever it is, I'm going to get out at 50 break. So I'm not going to let this go against me. So if this breaks 236.50, we're gone. I'll take a 13-cent hit. Unfortunately, we have 15% left. On that. So we actually get another 5% out right there on the downside. So I think I've done pretty good at these prices and where we've got out. We got out at that resistance level right there at 235.50. Then we get out in this cluster down there. I mean, the very bottom would have been a 235 break. I still think that that's possible. But I'm getting out at 236.50 because we've already made the money. And what I've done in the past is like held it all the way up to VWAP. But now that the move's already happened, it can retrace back up. And I just don't want to give it back. Now, we've only made one trade there on Tesla today. It's into Power Hour on earnings. So the responsible thing to do, would be to get out. The also responsible thing to do for everybody out there right now is get me to 8,000 followers right now on Instagram. So it's these behind the scenes thing you see right here, like looking over my shoulder right there. I took this last week, 127 likes. There's Brendan. And I said, spying on Brendan. So there he is right there. Here's my good friend Brian Shannon that's with us tonight as we had the red and black lumberjacks, but not that color to match. And then here we go. Cute. Took a little selfie there at the gym afterwards. So that was a good one there today. So join me all over there. We have recap show here with quotes, all this kind of stuff, shout outs, Kevin O'Leary, so on and so forth. And here's me looking all, serious like. Right there. So I want to say a big shout out to everybody that's part of Instagram fam. All right. So actually, you know what? On that note, I'm going to take another fill right now. There we go. We take a 97. So we'll just say gates of hell or not, Tesla right now. We'll take that 40 cents. We'll feel out this play again, and then we'll basically just go from there. So that's Tesla. It's coming back in a little bit. We're really happy. I'm just going to slip over to the desk. So I'll give it to Neil for 5 minutes because I want to make sure we're all locked and loaded. So we do have those.
Yeah, it's big. You want to make sure
releases for you immediately. So you
got to restart that because every time I go up there,
okay, I'll be right back.
Every time I go up there, I always have to restart the charts. They always die. You leave things alone and sometimes things freeze. No, the market is definitely heading back in. There was a couple of questions in the chat. One, and we were asked twice, and each of us were asked what we think about Bull. I'm not a fan of. You got to be careful with Webull and this price action. It's still very much trying to find a bottom. Potentially found it at 22. but there's even a gap underneath here. Like if it loses that support, like remember, when it's a SPAC, you lose that gap. My thought is, of course, you'd buy it at 10 if it gets down there again, but yeah, not looking great for Webull, and especially with the market up 2%, it's down. It's not looking very good at all. I also saw someone asking, why is AMD, whoops, I typed MU because that's what I was looking at first. Hey, there's that trend reverse on MU that I didn't get. Yay, it's at VWAP now. If you like longs, maybe you'd look at it there. Now, the question was, why is AMD so weak? My answer would be, the chips just did the same thing. AMD, that curl, you just saw the same thing over there on Micron, and I just saw, after I trailed out of Intel, it go right back to the prior bottom. Sometimes that's just how it is. I think we got one more shot till the imbalances come in, which is reminding me that I should take a look at the early look. But I feel like if we pop in, I can short this into VWAP. It's just going to make some sense here on Intel. It's like a last salvo. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say that you shouldn't, and Arun used to say this all the time. It's like, well, why are you trailing this out here? Like, you should be waiting for the top or looking for a place to add back in and then tighten the stop. And until you've added back in, don't tighten your stop. Give it some room to run. I've heard that, and sometimes I'll do it. This time I did not. So Nike is working. I want to get back into Intel, and I promised we would at least have a look at the early look. I, for one, am shocked that this penny stock that's there every single day is here again today, this DMN. I don't think anybody cares if Ford is 1.5 million to buy. It's not a huge notional amount. Enbridge up there, that's dual listed in Canada, so I don't pay much heed to anything that is dual listed when I see a New York imbalance. Same thing with BNS, that's a Canadian bank. Nike is a early look buy. Well, that's kind of interesting. Usually I'd be thinking, where is the exit if it's an early look buy and I'm sitting in a short? But for now, it seems to still be not respecting that 750,000 buy that it is. But to me, that does mean get out off support. So I'll let this either break trend, which I guess it'll be above VWAP in here, or get down to the bottom. But there is a small buy imbalance on Nike for what it is worth. And that's what it's all about. Like, you've got to, I don't necessarily have to trade off that imbalance, but I do want to respect that imbalance if I can find it. I just want to see if I can get my get a higher time frame chart up there as well. If you guys give me a quick little second to do that. Where is my? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just want to get a higher time frame chart on Nike because I realized I was talking about this, and I wasn't mentioning. It's not a monthly. I wanted to go to the weekly chart on Nike, and I had said yesterday that Nike is very close to a bit of a swing type of entry if it can break out this top. Now, it's not quite there yet, but I do like this bit of a bottom. I think you have to worry to some degree about any headlines that we get, and we just got that tariff, so we got that China headline, which I think is going to play into this a lot. And speaking of, well, I guess this is kind of an easy way to say it. I'm showing you e-signal right now. You've got every time frame. You can see I've got market screeners up here for volume spikes. You can see I've got a live level too. Now, obviously, real trading, we traded the P-Pro 8 and I got it up there, but you can use that with e-signal as well. And you know what? Hey, first month free on e-signal. Who doesn't like free? Anybody that doesn't like free, I'm like, I don't know. You either are a billionaire or you just don't care. And billionaires like free too because that's how they get rich. Let's listen up. It's the first month is free. This is a platform where it's highly customizable, reliable data on multiple markets with every single indicator you could possibly imagine, back testing, forward testing, all that kind of good stuff. You can trade through it through multiple brokers will allow you to trade through eSignal. The ability to take replay is a fantastic one as well. Everybody, it's lightning fast. They're game-changing charts, and a lot of people using it here. As there is the stock blitz as well. But big shout out to eSignal. As I said, first month free. Scan the QR code out in front of you right now if you want to upgrade your trading experience with a fantastic platform there. So shout out to eSignal. No, let me come back over to we were in IBIT off that 52, but it must have lost. There it goes. There it is. It was holding all day. It's not holding anymore. The shorts have won. And tight stop, yes. But I'd rather have a tight stop. I'm not just because I liked it long before doesn't mean I still am gonna hold it against me or average in. Market's headed down. The only thing I gotta concern myself with here is the stock I'm short has a buy imbalance on it. So I want to be able to get this fill out in front of 56.8. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Corey, in the chat. Shout out to Trader TV. Appreciate you. We had David in here. SC for Hedera Hair Care. You're joking. But let's see the Tesla reaction. 14% move, question mark. Best to everyone. 14%. I think there's a better chance. 14% down. I think it'll have trouble going down that far given the levels that it's at. Up, I think you might be able to see that if it's going to be strong enough and get those beats. And shout out to some members here. M77, new member. We appreciate you. You're in the right spot. Anthony0120. Shout out to you as well. Look, the reality is you're not going to find anywhere with these live news that move the markets all over the place like this. Oh my goodness. When we had that bond auction, I'm like, thank you for the bond auction. Like I punched out of Nike manually because my stop was under like 57.7 and it was cruising. I'm like, yeah, we're good. I didn't reload it here. We'd already scalped to those levels. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be fine. And then all of a sudden I just hear, I hear Dara talking about it. I hear the Middays talking about it. So anybody that was in longs, you might have had your butt saved watching this program and getting that news live. And the reaction was swift and the opportunity to get into some other things. Like that was the exact same era where I was short already, and I had bids. I was bidding here and here on, like I had a bid on Intel. I was able to cancel this one and then move the bids lower, all because I heard everyone else shouting about the, look man, I didn't know the bond thing was happening, or I forgot about it, and then all of a sudden it was happening, and I punched out a Nike, and I canceled one of my bids in Intel. The other one had already filled by the time it happened. Now it was literally, like I should have shown this earlier. Like this was the biggest fluke trade. If I had punched short, it would have been fine. But it's one of those fluke trades. I happen to be at my station when I hear somebody say big news, and then you react to it. Ideally, it's on myself. I put an economic calendar out this morning. I knew there was a 2-year auction. I had forgotten to tighten up my stop in front of it. But that's why you listen to Trader TV Live, so you don't miss things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why bless you. Tonight,
that was a big one.
I will be graced on the big desk with, I was going to say the Egyptian nightmare, but I got to think of a different name for Sharif. It'll be Sharif. Now it's earnings season, so, we're going to try to give you, as much coverage as... Yes, it's Sharif, it's Adara, it's Brian Shannon, and unfortunately I'll be there as well.
Mount Trademore.
Mount Trademore, yeah, exactly. That's a good one, man. I like that one. I should send something on AI. We
can do that. We should
be able to do that. We should be able to put like all the Trader TV Live
guys.
Where's
Fabian?
Where's Fabian? These guys are way too busy, man. You see what these guys are doing over there? They're like...
a Mount Rushmore Trader TV thing.
Yeah.
But for the aftermarket...
What's up, Fabian?
Oh, but for the aftermarket show in 15 minutes.
Yeah, just add ChatGPT to do it, okay? Right there, so... What's up, Fabian?
Yo, okay, so...
Yeah, this is what they show, yeah.
No, can I say something about
Fabian, the light shines bright, my guy.
Someone was using that flashlight in the corner, and it was flashing right in my eye while you were
what is
talking.
that hat?
I was like trying to dodge out of it.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Let me see that hat again.
What is that?
I want to see it. I don't know, that's what I'm trying to find out. What does it say? American Express Global Business Travel. Oh, okay. Oh, flexing the black card. What a surprise, eh, Sharif? You know what I mean? This girl never stops. What are we even doing over here?
I'll tell you what you don't do. Never play credit card roulette with the black card, because we punked our boy with that.
Because you could tell which card it was?
And he didn't even realize until he had already lost like 3 in a row. He's like, why do they
Wow, Neil, you're so honest to your friends.
Why do they keep... You know who it was, first of all. Come on, man. This is the same... It's the same dude that paid you for the steak dinner in pennies.
Ramin already is the boss.
He deserved that, and he deserved it. He's a good friend. He's a great guy. We had a steak dinner with the boys years and years ago. We've told the story before.
The guy gets Wagyu, this and that.
Yeah, this guy gets the most expensive Wagyu steak, and then leaves because he has a date when we have a guy's dinner. It's like, okay, whatever, bro. And then decides to pay Sean back. We're sitting in our office on our trading floor, and someone knocks, and he comes in with
months away too. It's not even like months. He's
wheeling a dolly in with boxes, and we're like, what the hell is
some
this?
delivery?
We're not expecting a delivery. Yeah. We're trading floor. We don't get deliveries, and it was boxes of pennies for the entire steak dinner.
So he sent me like, it was $200 or $300 in pennies or something like that. Anyways,
really
thankfully,
it was really funny.
Thankfully, we had a bank in the bottom of our building there, so I was, yeah, it was fun, man. That was those were those.
He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, real good dude. But no, that was really fun. So, all right, and I just want to say, you talked about risk management and all that kind of stuff, and we always do that.
Oh yeah, trailed it.
I just think it's important that we talk about like this Tesla trade because, you know, we all have some fun here. You know, we're showing you Instagram, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're talking about this and that. But, you know, it's this kind of a trade that can save this, you know, and we always hear the hard, I mean, I'm the one that sits here and tells everybody not to day trade, right? And the thing is that you have to develop your style and then you have to have risk management that's involved. I mean, this is why, shout out to Stevenson Etienne and those of you that are doing the Trade the Pool, which is on the screen right now. You know, it's like you can YOLO positions. That's one thing if that's the strategy that you want to do on a Hertz, on a Webull, even on a Tesla, on any stock, really, right? I mean, there's just as much money to be made on a Tesla that there is a Rigetti or that there is a NIO, like even stocks that don't move, right? But you have to share size appropriately and then make sure you have your stop orders and take profits. Have a plan of action. Like when these fills are hitting, some of them sure are like, you know, I'm not panicking, but it's like, okay, you know, where do I get out here? What's going on? Oh my God, it's going down. I'm going to punch out. That's fine. Those are reactions. But at the end of the day, we have our resting orders that sit here at key levels. And I try to describe to you where we're doing them and what we're looking at. And then a stop order to get out of the trade. Because no matter how good the trade looks, anything can happen, especially in these markets. There's never been more of like a headline-driven market than today. I mean, sure, COVID was obviously something there, but that was more orderly decline.
Yeah, not even the same. No.
Yeah, it was just...
This is different piece.
Yeah, all you were waiting for with that was the CDC to lie to you again. So COVID was just one thing. But at the end of the day, this is, you know, coming out in 3 minutes. So you're going to also have to wait for these imbalances to hit. That's also another, which is why I'm flat right now. This is also another risky time to trade. So you have to be careful. Chipotle, I like Chipotle too. Oh, the Chipotle has the new, maybe I'll take my kid there tonight because Marissa's at volleyball with Gia and then she goes to have a practice and then after that is signing day. Hilarious. And then, so I got to get dinner with Barron.
You got to have some big eats for signing day. You can't just...
Well, I don't know what they're doing. They, honestly, they are very like, she'll probably have Freshie or something like that. Or she loves poke
She's
bowls.
in training. I love the poke bowl.
Training, yeah. I love the poke bowl too. Tuna poke.
But she's doing CrossFit. She's in training.
Tuna poke. Oh, yeah.
We used to get the poke bowls around here. And
I need to make more money.
That's what I miss. Just a couple of things. Look, part of the reason I trailed out, I would have mostly done this anyways when it broke trend. But remember, there was a buy imbalance on the early look for Nike and you're short. So the market's going to bounce off VWAP as well. With only 90 seconds to go, there's still nothing big on that early look. Just the same things that we were seeing before, BNS, Enbridge, dual listed names, Kenvue, Ford as well. Some penny stock, but that's from the morning. It always has an imbalance. We'll ignore that one if it comes up. Nike, small buy on the early look. So nothing's standing out per se, but you absolutely never know. We got 1 minute to go. Sometimes you'll get something really big with no index actions or nothing like that is expected. But I'm trying to stay flat, maybe look for what the next opportunity could come up with. Sometimes I'll have like an idea of this is the stock I want to look for on the imbalance. I have Nike up because it had a buy imbalance and we just traded it. But I don't have any bias to one name or another whatsoever. So we'll see. See some people saying pounds here in the chat. I haven't seen anything make a power move outside of the entire market bouncing. Like everything is catching a bounce right now.
Yeah, there's nothing really going on right here. I mean, I'm still waiting for, so here we go. What's up, Tia? Sean on a podcast. Did I say that I made 1 million in trading? Okay. Might be a little late. Okay, so I've been here for 20 years, so it is what it is. Okay, so we're not talking about yearly over here. All right, so we'll have to watch out. Oh, shoot, I was going to look at these imbalances, and then I saw that $1 million number. I was like, wait a second. All right, here we go. Let's just highlight this. We'll see what's going on right now today for this. So here comes the imbalances right now.
Nothing?
Kenvue. It doesn't seem to be much. Broadcom with $1 million bid. I don't really, there, so Broadcom ticking higher. Lucid, Cisco. Tesla with a short. So not doing too much there. Did I just see IBIT? Intel with a bid.
IBIT, it's never there.
IBIT's here, yeah, right here. IBIT with a sell right there, 500,000 shares. But again, you want to look at what's the volume, right? So the volume's 77 million. So 500,000 shares is not going to be like a huge surprise to that stock. Kenvue, this is Kenvue, right? KVUE is, I thought it was. Yeah, Kenvue. Okay, so J&J spin up, I believe. That's a sell imbalance. You can see that is ticking a little bit higher as well. So sometimes these things don't matter that much. I look at them just to see, basically direction, overall direction, to see if there was anything happening. And then we wait for the bigger numbers, like Lucid right here, a bid. Not moving at all. So looks like the imbalance locator will be, as we say over here, a nothing burger.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll continue to wait. And we'll figure it out from there. But
yeah, overall market was only 700 million to buy, with the Nasdaq 240, Dow 157, Mag 7 2.5 million. But that just means, I'm not even like the Mag 7. Nothing's really showing up outside of Broadcom, nothing burger, and Broadcom even then. Not that excited for it. But that's fine. Like when you look at these trades, you want it to be something big. I was kind of half hoping we'd see some Amex names in there, like GDX. Some of the ETFs, because there was some action on those yesterday. But there's Broadcom, a little bit of a pullback there, and on a buy imbalance. So it goes to show, this is one that I would be ignoring. I think if it was right at the high, maybe you look for that 355 flip. Don't get trapped, says Finch Jane. You never want to get trapped. But that said, there's a good line in Star Wars. It's like, what are you going to do? Spring the trap. There are trades where you're going to enter in what some people might consider it a bit of a trap. Like I would say a lot of the mean reversions, they look like they can be traps. Like look at Broadcom off this. Like that can look like it's going to be a trap top. Now that's cheating because this is the bond auction. Or the reversal, like the reversal in the morning long. Like that looks like it can be an absolute trap to try to buy it off the lows in a tanking market. I just find you have to just do something that works for you. Counter trend trading can work. If you're really, really specific about it. But what I find, I'm just talking my own experience here. Like if I look at Nvidia, thank you very much, Scott Benson. We'd be positive it wasn't for that guy on Nvidia. If you're doing a counter trend trade, ideally there shouldn't be that many shots at it. Because it's like you want the idea is to get it in at the turn. And you should get one good turn and then a support spot, or like one good turn and then hold it all day long. And the only good one was essentially ridiculously aided by that bond auction. Like you're sitting short, it's actually coming back up to our re-entry, and then the bond auction hits. And I happen to be short the stock. Sometimes that's going to happen to you, but ultimately what I'm getting at is if you're mean reversion trading or you're trading against the trend, you don't want to have too many executions. I overtraded Nvidia today. That's all I was trying to get at originally there. And then that was kind of flukish to have had the bond auction happen and tank the market there.
Come on, man.
Well, what happened?
All right. I got to talk a little bit more here pretty soon. All right, just really quickly. So I actually had the same trade there on AMD on that bond auction. Stopped out there, but then right back in, and I explained to you the trade for me and what I was doing there. And yeah, I think that news right now, very, very important to, be cautious of it. And especially with earnings tonight, I did want to have a quick look at Tesla. But right now, we just talked about being risky, risk adverse, risk tolerant, whatever kind of system you are, you can join Trade the Pool. And with Trade the Pool, you could trade real stocks with massive capital and own massive, says Sharif, and only put down $47 minimal dollars to get started. Trade the Pool offers two ways to get funded, and both give you access to up to $200,000 in company capital. It all depends on your trading style. The Max plan is built to reward consistency with a smooth path to payouts. The Flex plan is designed to fit you when you need more time and flexibility. Whichever path you take, your risk is capped and your opportunity is unlimited. Make sure to join tradethepool.com, scan the QR code and get 10% off. You can see it right there. I think that's the best thing to do. Scan the QR code. Make sure you do get that. Let them know you're coming from Trader TV Live. And, if you're in Trade the Pool, again, those two plans, right? I mean, I think if you're just a starting trader, probably best to give some time, build up your trade plan, and then push when you feel it's necessary. That's kind of the strategy that I try to do here with only trading 4 names today. Tesla, we waited very specifically for that breakdown. We talked about shorting it off VWAP. Probably should have did that. We played momentum to the downside. That was a winner. Our TQQ trade, not going to be great today because we were short all the way up. Finally, we caught a little bit of a bottom move there. Patience would have worked out a little bit better for that trade for sure. Palantir, I mean, that was a good one there. We go long right here at the bottom. We go long there. We go long there. Palantir, big win there today. Tesla, Palantir, TQs, and the other one was AMD. So AMD short there was good. Then we got in and out there off the 200 period. That was no good. Short first did not work. Then we had that move down. So just 4 names today for me, and we'll go 2 and 2. So that's what we're doing right there today. 4 names, a little bit. I'm fine with 4. I'm fine with 5. I want to try to keep it minimal as we continue to trade these markets. And then just a quick look at Tesla as we wait to see where that one's going here to end the day. Flat, I guess. Right now, only up 4.5%. But there's a nice move at the end of the day to make that nice upside move on Tesla. 238.20 or so coming into play there as the top end for TSLA.
Yeah, someone just said the link I just saw in the chat someone saying the link didn't work in the description. Always, the QR code's right there and it absolutely works. So just for anybody, if it is incorrect, that we apologize, obviously, but you can always just check out that QR code right there if you're asking about trade the pool, which we were just discussing. Someone just asked me in the chat what I thought of a Hertz short. If you mean the day trade, it's 357. So I mean, absolutely not. The closing bell's in 3 minutes. And if you're looking at it on like you're swinging short this. So I always say the same thing. I'm not a hedge fund, man. Like day trade, there are spots that you can day trade these squeezers for sure. But unless you have like really, really, really deep pockets, like yeah, sure, it might go down, it might resume trend. I just try not to get punked on things like this. I would not try to guess at a short. I can tell you, oh, look, it's got the $10 level under here, rejected that in there today. But I think you day trade off that kind of a thing. You catch a reversion trade, something that works for you for an execution. Your downside risk, you can always, it's better. Oh, Hertz has options, although I would imagine it's probably so pricey it's not that great. But yeah, just be careful. The money gets made shorting these parabolic movers by the funds that they can just withstand and be like, look, it's going to come back down. They just hold it forever. So I'd be very careful if you're trying that for sure. Tesla 270 tomorrow, says Robin. Tesla 410, and then Enphase at 405. We're going to get them. They're going to be happening pretty quickly for the Mount Rushmore that's going to be up at the desk. And joining Brian Shannon as well in the recap show with 90 seconds to go. $270. I would venture to say that I think the stopping point on Tesla, well, that's what I thought before we bought 220, is still that 280 zone. Like if it's getting to 270, why not get to 280? Is kind of my thought. Like that's where the big selling is. And if it gets a strong push up, I think it makes it to the big sellers. We'll see what happens in the aftermarket. But I only say 280 because that's where, since we had this double barrel bounce in March, it's been resisting that $280 level. And it's got the death cross going for it. Oh, please squeeze out the people that shorted the death cross. Because the death cross short, that's the build-in was right in the 250 to 255 range. So you take that out and get above 60, those traders start to feel the pinch. And that's big. Like they're not feeling any pinch right now, everyone that shorted the death cross on Tesla. But they'll get pretty nervous if we open tomorrow above 260. And if we break that 50 period on the daily, they'll be even crazier. Because to me, if you short the death cross and you're not covering when it breaks a 50 period moving average, then like what the heck are you doing? Like it's technicals in, technicals out. And they get squeezed past that 275. 30 seconds to go in here. It's going to be a wild one starting off with Enphase and then Tesla. The market's going to close 2.5 on the ES and 2.5 on the NASDAQ as we speak. So it's looking pretty nice. Tesla, a little bit of a bounce running into sellers at 238 as we get into this close. So eyeballs will be here, even though Enphase is going to be a little bit faster. Get the camera off me. Let's go on over. We've got Adara on the bell. She'll be joining Sean Sharif and special guest Brian Shannon as we ring it Let's go.
We'll go back and forth with Brian.
Hey, the market is now closed. It's going to be a wild one. It was already a crazy day, volatility-wise. Big, strong day for the markets. You saw gold pull back as the market was flying to the upside. You saw Bitcoin strength pretty much all day long. Even a late-day rally. People were talking about how weak some of the chips were. Nvidia popped $1.50 there going into the close. But the big one is going to be Tesla. We got Tesla earnings at 410. Call a little bit later on. And then you've got Enphase as well. So big shout out to Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos, making us look and sound good. Big shout out to Brennan and our fantastic guests that we had in the afternoon. Appreciate them stopping by. And the midday, as always, Sharif and Joey Options doing well. But you know what? You don't have to do much of anything. You got the Mount Rushmore joining for the market recap. It is going to be Sean. It is going to be Adara. It is going to be Sharif, joined by special guest Brian Shannon, as always, on a Tuesday. And somebody's getting the party started because they're already breaking Tesla out at 238. Maybe somebody knows, but they're not expected for another 9 minutes. Sit back, relax. Your market recap starts now.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Very, very pleased to be with my guy right here, Sharif. So this is going to be a big one. We're going to have, hopefully, many different hosts on during this earnings season. So make sure you join us every single day from here on in, man. It's just, it goes for the next 3-4 weeks. Every single day, we're going to have earnings breaking out for you. We do have the Benzinga Pro platform.
Bang.
We're all over TweetDeck. We're all over Twitter. We've got Adara, Sharif. Everybody's here right now. We're ready to rock and roll. As Neil just said, Tesla, a little bit of a bump up to 240 there. Not much happening. The market is not out. This market for Tesla, not out yet as we wait on earnings. I'm not seeing anything across the board,
no.
But what a great day it was for stocks today. I mean, we have all these indexes. The only thing down today, gold. And I said this today. I actually said it on live on the stream. If someone wants to take a bet with me, I think gold is down a month from today, from where we are right now. I just think there's so many people layering into gold. Look, I like it. I like it as a safe haven. But if we do get something settled out with China, with the tariffs, I just think people may take some of that profit out of gold, roll it into some of the indexes, and then we'll be able to figure out what's going on. Why is Nvidia running? Is Nvidia running?
Oh, goodness.
No, I don't really see it. Well, it's running at the end of the day. Nice move there on the upside for Nvidia. Well, what's going on was the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ had the nice move, up 3% today, Sharif.
Yes,
Berkshire up 3%. The diamonds are up 3%. Sam Altman is resigning from Oklo.
No.
OKLO. Wow, bye-bye. Woo. Ciao, my guy. Right there, nice little downside move as Oklo. Downside right now.
Wow.
He's still going to continue to stay with Oklo, work on partnerships, work on a partnership apparently with OpenAI. Hearing this in my ear right now. So breaking news. Adara, watch your job. We're breaking news on the desk right now. There it goes. So why is Visa tanking? Look, there's lots of news happening as we go. We have the Benzinga Pro platform. Sharif, myself, Adara, we're scanning. We're getting ready to go. So as soon as Tesla hits, we're on that. We also do have many different names. Chubb is going out tonight. We have Enphase. We had that First Solar nonsense happening today. We wait for the Enphase report. We wait for Capital One as well. And then GDX, UNG, gold, silver, and wheat. The only red indexes are ETFs today, only red sectors. So here we go, man. Rip Oklo. Yeah, that news is that Sam Altman there, Sharif, is gone. That is, we'll wait to see more information there, but stepping down.
Yeah,
so it's probably a mutual agreement here. Probably let them know this was going to happen. Okay, we do actually going to go to Adara right now at the desk.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify there. Sam Altman stepping down as chairman of Oklo, reported by CNBC. That's the story that we have right now. Also, apparently, a former Tesla president, John McNeil, going to be on CNBC here as well. Speaking of Tesla, let's take a look here at the implied earnings moves for the names reporting tonight. 405, we're going to get Enphase, 12% implied move, ISRG, 7.8% implied move, and Capital One with a 5.9% implied move. Then we've got Tesla, 10.7% implied move. This is the name that we're all waiting for, but its previous move was only about 3%, so not super significant. Then we've got Chubb here, CB. This was at one point a Warren Buffett name. I'm not sure if he's still in it, but 4:15 is the expected time for this release, and 5.6% implied move for Chubb. So stay tuned for all of these. You can check out these infographics and more at X at TTV Research. Back to you.
Adara, yeah. So Yeah, Oclo still going to the downside. All right. Predictions on Tesla before we get going?
Look, Katina, man, it's going to be tough to see. Like you were making the point with gold that it's so good, it's time to be bad, right? Tesla's kind of the same thing. It's so bad, is it time to be good? Here's what I'm looking for. We know they're likely going to miss on deliveries. Europe's down, China's down, North American sales are down. So it's not going to be a surprise that they miss on electric vehicle deliveries. What I want to hear about the Model 2 or Model Q, when the hell are we going to get it, is going to be the second half of this year or the first half of next year. That's what I want to hear about. Then I want to hear about FSD, the robo-taxi, Katina, man. Likely going to be the same platform. A lot of rumors going around on these chat forums, talking to your friend Randy back there, that robo-taxi and the Model 2 or the Model Q going to share a platform. So I don't think it's far-fetched to get information on both of those. But yeah, you know, true to Elon form, I think he has to be upbeat, Katina, man. He has to be here.
It's just, we always think that, you know, these guys have no plan, but they have a plan. Elon knows what he's doing. 100%. He's going to come up with this. Tesla's out.
Okay,
I'm hearing it right now. Tesla's now out.
We're dropping.
Adjusted earnings of 27 cents missing. That's 40-cent estimate, 35-cent estimate, 27 cents out for Tesla. Tesla right now, 238 and change, not moving too much. So we'll wait to see what's going on with there. Apparently, Enphase is also out. I'm not trying to flip up here, but there goes Enphase. Ciao on that one. See you later to Enphase. Enphase downside, down to $49, but that's a nice story. We all want to see what's going on with Tesla. Tesla right now, 235. I just heard it in my ear. The number's 235 right now on the stock. I heard 27 cents. I don't, okay, so just waiting. There's some sort of a letter right now they're trying to read. So Tesla right now not doing a whole heck of a lot. The Enphase number, I'll get that when I see it, but that is a downside play. Tesla right now, I don't think they know what the number is, Sharif. Okay, now we're starting to head down a little bit, 234. If we look at a daily chart for Tesla, I mean, we need a mover, right? Tesla's expected move today, implied move, 10.7%. So we should either be at 205 or 260. Let's wait to see what happens here with Tesla right now, not doing anything, Sharif. I don't know if you're finding anything on this. I heard in my ear 27 cents. That would be a slight miss for Tesla, but I don't hear anything else. Here it is right here.
Here it is. Got it, Katina, man.
Okay, so do you want to run it over?
27 cents EPS per share. That's a miss, a huge miss, Sean. We were looking for 41 cents per share.
Right.
Sales, 19.34 billion, another huge miss. We were looking for 21.35, Katina, man. But exactly like you said, this thing is taking out the actual intraday high, 249, and now it's 242, dropping down to 238. Obviously, a very wide spread here in the aftermarket. Guys, trade this carefully. It's moving from 6% down into 3, down into 5, but it's a miss on the top and bottom line. Team, man, there's no arguing about that. 27 cents EPS. The street wanted 41, 19.33 billion in sales. The street wanted 21.33 in sales. So big miss all around here, and now it's breaking down below 237.
I want somebody else to tell me who's doing this right now immediately. This is a live level 2 right now of Tesla. You could see liquidity bound, man. There's a lot of liquidity here. So if you're putting out stop orders, you could probably use market orders. Lots of liquidity right now for Tesla. So this is what we're looking at. It's 237 we're talking about right now. Q1 operating margin, 2.1%. That's not great. EBITDA margin, okay, this is what we're looking at. 14.6%. Now remember, Tesla in their heyday was around 30% margin, maybe a little under that. Right now, 14.6% margin, EBITDA adjusted margin, 14.6 right now for Tesla. 27 cents versus 41. Volume production on the Cybercab, 2026. So I'm not sure if that's early or late, but in my, okay. Yep, their trade policy, tariffs definitely affecting if they're talking about. It looks like we should be a good one. So here we go. All right, so we'll calm down a little bit. Tesla's now in the pocket. It's $240. It looks like it's going to be a disappointing release, to be honest with you, Sharif, because the Bulls and the Bears aren't winning right now. I mean, this is basically where we were trading it after during the show. So this one right now is not that great. It looks like the miss was pretty big, though, right? Like 19 on sales versus 21. They miss on the EPS. And that operating margin of just 14.6% doesn't seem great to me, but there's more news happening.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
I got a bunch of stuff
What
here.
else
So
you
you
wanna talk
mentioned the operating margins, Katina, man, at 2.1%, which is not a good look. Actual EBITDA margins, 14.6%. I'm sure you mentioned that as well. Let's look at what else is coming in over here. Cash and cash equivalents, about $37 billion there on the balance sheet. That's not a bad look. Energy generation, another understated area here, Katina, man. 2.37 billion in revenue. That was a beat there. One of the very, bright spots in Tesla lately. Let's keep a lookout here. Other services and other revenue coming in at 2.6 billion. So we'll have to keep an eye out on more of that. Let's see what else we got over here. They said their current tariff landscape will have a relatively larger impact on the energy business compared to automotive. So a bit of maybe a headwind there for their solar division as well as their energy storage capacity. And they're having difficult to measure the impact of shifting global trade policy on automotive and energy supply chains. They go on to say very undecided price action here, Sean. We popped up into 242. We're kind of in the midpoint right now at 238 between that area. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. They missed, as I mentioned, Q1 EPS by 15 cents. That's not a slight amount, guys. Revenue for the quarter, again, 19.3 billion. The street wanted 21.4 billion, Sean.
Great recap there. Thank you, Sharif, for that. You can see Tesla right now starting to head lower. So into 236, into 235, looking lower right now for Tesla. That low could break. We're looking for this right there. 235 if we do break through there. They're now talking about this tariff is not a great sign. We already know about that. But let's just go over quickly some other stories. We had ISRG come out as well. Intuitive Surgical. Ciao, Bella, to that one as well as we go lower on ISRG. At 181 versus 172, that's a beat. Sales also a beat. There must be a problem with the guide. ISRG downside.
Enphase,
yeah,
Sean, yeah.
Chubb, not doing anything. I got it. ENPH right now, downside as well. So this name just keeps on getting hit, man. I don't know if there's going to be a recovery or not in solar, Sharif, but it is downside for now.
It's hard to see, man.
There's that tick. We're now below everything. We might have to look at a weekly chart for that. And just in my ear right now, Tesla shares daily looking okay. Looks like we're going to hold that level. I think upside tomorrow if we do hold because of all the negativity, but it's flat on the report for Tesla.
The fact that we're not tanking like this makes you feel like the street, the investors are waiting for the call. They want to hear what the hell he has to say. Because these are not good numbers. I mean, if you and I were asked, if they missed by that much on revenue, if they missed by that much on EPS, would we still be up 4% in the aftermarket?
Probably.
I would have said no. Right, so I'm assuming here a lot of what we're waiting for is the call. We'll have to wait for that. Sean, I wanted to mention Enphase as well.
Sure,
so Enphase, big move down here, over 9%. This could go SSR by the time we wake up tomorrow. Enphase Energy, Q1 adjusted EPS 68 pennies. That missed. 70 pennies was the prediction or the street was looking for. Sales also missed, Sean, 356 million. The street wanted 361, so miss on the top and bottom line. So we'll have to see what the guide comes in at, but not looking good for Enphase or any of these names that are reporting after the bell.
Tesla taking out 240 right now. All right, let's go back over to Adara.
One thing we always look for with these earnings reports is guidance. In the case of Elon Musk and Tesla, one piece of guidance people are really looking forward to is finding out how long he's going to be with the Department of Government Efficiency. This term was set to last about a year and a half. It was set to end in July 2026. But there have been some reports that it's going to end earlier. And Charles Gasparino, frequent Fox Business contributor, posted on X that we're actually expecting to get some word as to how long Elon's tenure is going to be during this Tesla earnings call. So with that in mind, you can check out this infographic on X at TTV Research. Here is this white line is going to be Tesla's stock price in each year starting in 2010. Then we have Tesla revenue in the gray. And you can really see how many ventures Elon Musk has managed to do while having lots of growth in Tesla. We have OpenAI, we have XAI, we've got his purchase of Twitter/X. So check out this infographic. The point we're trying to make here is Elon Musk may be viewed as distracted, but this man is very used to running multiple businesses at the same time. Again, X at TTV Research. Hopefully we do get some clarity, though, on Elon's tenure with Doge. Back to you.
I think that's the next shoe to drop. We just had Tesla go up to 242 right now.
Unbelievable.
So I mean, now the numbers are out. I think you can just watch the stock. We do have a live level 2 right here, 238 and change, going through over 100 million shares today on Tesla. So Tesla says it will revisit guidance soon. So it has sufficient liquidity to fund the product roadmap, their long-term capacity expansion and plans and other expenses. So they obviously have, you read it, was it 35 billion or whatever you mentioned there in cash. So they definitely have that. They're looking to have those more affordable models starting production in H1 of 26. So that's going to be first half of 25, sorry.
25.
Remain on track for the start of production. So that's right now.
That's exactly.
So we're
now,
waiting
man.
for some production numbers.
And that's what we've
hopefully.
been saying. Where the hell is this car? At least give us a glimpse of what this car is going to look like. I mean, it's so important, right? We already have the Model 3, Sean. It's not going to get cheaper. That's the cheapest car that they have.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy a Model 3. I'm trying to get this cheaper, my guy.
But like that's as low as it's going to get for Tesla. So we need to know how the needle's going to get moved in the short term, in the intermediate term, not about robotics, about agentic AI, about eVTOLs or whatever the hell they want to get involved in. We want to know about cars now, and that's why people are buying this stock. They want to know about the cars. So it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit here.
And in a brand new development, Rivian, absolutely. Come over to my screen immediately so I can show you guys Rivian. Not doing anything. Sorry for that. Rivian, no comment whatsoever. I got Brian laughing in the green room, so that's always a good sign. Oh, looking handsome over there, my guy. Can't wait to have him on. Brian Shannon in just a few minutes. We do have SAP coming on as well. Here we go, man. This name beats SAP. Nice name here to the upside as we go. SAP with a nice little move. What does that look like on the daily? Again, holding the 200 period. This is a data company, right? Provision enterprise application software related services. So SAP German company to the upside 260. That wasn't very good German. That made no sense. 265 and change all the way there up to the upside. So that's a nice little move there. SAP. We did have Enphase coming out as well. All right, more info from my guy. He's looking at Tesla right now.
Yes, sir.
So here's Tesla, and we're doing it live. Here's a live level 2 for Tesla. 241 coming into play. Sharif, give us that new news.
Tesla says Cybercab will continue to pursue unboxed manufacturing. I don't know what that means. Someone's going to have to educate me. Strategy and is scheduled for volume production starting in 2026. So that's next year, Sean. Volume production doesn't mean that we're not going to have, a couple floating around by the end of this year. Volume production 2026. We haven't even seen the thing drive on a road, Sean. We've seen it internally in some, I don't know, where they were at the Paramount Studios or whatever. He did that robo-taxi launch in October.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was great, but I want to see it in real life. Waymo's got these in real life. When are we going to see it?
I can't wait till you rolling up in the Tesla.
Cybe?
No, not the Cybe, in the robo-taxi.
The robo-taxi would be fantastic. I'd have that bad boy working for me.
Oh, by the way, Sharif is back on the TTC. He's ready to fight everybody now.
No. We're gonna stay clean, Sean. We're staying away from everybody.
He's got all trained up over there. Yeah, look, man, at some point, Tesla's going to find its way. We just have to, sort of sort through this. I'm really excited to see about that conference call. We'll see Elon's normally on them. Hopefully we'll be on them today, and we'll be able to get that figured out. And we'll see the movement tomorrow. But without any further ado, can't leave someone like this in the green room.
Absolutely
Definitely not for too long.
Absolutely
It's our weekly special appearance from the man, the myth, the legend. Let's hit Trader Talk and bring on Brian. Woo. Brian, you and I going a little baby face over here right now. I definitely like that look there, my guy. Is that a little spring shave or what's going on?
Yeah, I just get tired of the caterpillar there under my nose.
I like that. Did you see this Tesla report? I mean, Sharif and I just sort of gone over it. Seems like much ado about nothing. The options were implied over a 10% move there today. And it looks like we're coming out at basically where we went in. That was 238 and change. Tesla not doing too much. Numbers weren't great. But our sort of rhetoric here has been, it's so bad that maybe this is okay, maybe this is good, and some of the pain is behind it. Are the charts telling you anything about Tesla here in the after hours?
It's telling me really that the stock kind of is a waste of time. It's below those, key moving averages. In the after hours, it got stuck pretty much at the anchor from the year-to-date low that we saw on the 7th. So, that level is at about 243. We're stuck below that. And again, we're stuck below declining 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. I don't think it's going to change much here. If it just seems more neutral than anything. It's really a day trade stock. stock, Sean, and that's what you do well at.
Why, thank you. Yeah, we actually did have a decent play there on Tesla near the end of the day. Just a quick little scalp. We took $1 and got out of there. I'm still of the belief that it's a 3-day thing. So we'll let this settle down just a little bit and then get it back. We're just getting the share screen ready to go for you. Everything is fine. What a green day today in the market. And I know that me and you had gone back and forth about 2 weeks ago where I was trying to get you to tell me something to buy. Has anything changed? Have you been sending anything out to your subscribers about maybe some ideas? Have we seen a bottom? Do you still like? I'm not going to forget about that call that you made. And believe me, the very next day, Brian, when you had mentioned that the position that you liked was actually short off of this 550, we started going down right off of that number. So you absolutely nailed that. So we're going to give a bang to Mr. Brian Shannon over there for that call. Are we still looking to fade pops and the spiders?
It's really, I think, at a pretty critical level here, Sean. We have the possibility that yesterday was a higher low on the daily time frame, but intermediate term, it still needs a little bit of work. So I'm hopeful that maybe we can, but I've got a couple names that I'm keeping an eye on, such as Abbott Labs. It's a slow, boring healthcare, drug stock, but I think this one can get going. It's got this nice little consolidation on the daily time frame. So this is one of your healthier looking stocks right now. eBay maybe, and I was thinking, maybe this is eBay. Maybe people are gonna, buy less on Amazon and start buying more used junk on eBay. I don't know, if that's a theory from a fundamental standpoint. And I've still got my eye on this Guardian Healthcare, which GH is the symbol. No purchase in there yet, but I like that it's making higher lows, and we've got that 20 and 50-day moving average kind of flattening out. So that looks like it could continue to move higher, but still low confidence in most things. And there's still, stocks looking ready to break down. Like Rambus is right here on the precipice. If it breaks today's low, I think you can get short it with a stop somewhere, up around 45 or so. So it's still a mixed bag, Sean.
Yeah, no, I mean, great find there on eBay. Like, what is the process that maybe you go through? Because eBay's a name that we haven't been talking about for sure on the day trade side for a long time, and it looks very consolidating. I mean, it's above the 200 period and it looks absolutely fantastic on a daily chart. Nice little bump up there on eBay. Like, what's the process from your standpoint to try to find some of these different names, like in Abbott Labs or like in eBay? How does Brian dig down and find these names? Because that looks like a gem right there on eBay.
Sure. So I have these watch lists that I keep an eye on, and I've got these custom watch lists that I've created. So where are my lists? So anyways, I can't access it. But what I do basically, Sean, is I go through a large list of stocks, about 400 names. I did that this afternoon and came up with this list right here. So some of them have a little dot on them, and those are ones that I'm interested in near term. But those are just to kind of course, I'm not going to trade all those symbols, but I go through a lot of symbols so that I can, get familiar with where is strength coming into the market, what's kind of slowing down on the downside, where might we start to see some emergence of strength. So it's just, it's a bottoms-up approach that I think gives me a little bit better edge for, what's going on in the market overall.
Hey, Brian, good to see you. Sharif with you here.
You too, Sharif.
Listen, I got a question for you. UNH, United Health, we saw the big drop after that report a while ago. Obviously, we saw the big drop as well in the summer, after the execution, sadly, of the CEO. What really caught my attention, Brian, was that $450 level that takes us all the way back to January of 2022. We just lost that level. We lost it on a closing basis. So my question to you is, do you use any specific rule, like a 3% rule, a 3-day rule, below a key technical area or above a key technical area as well as confirmation? What's your look right now on UNH?
Yeah, great observation there, Sharif. The way I look at it is, we had such a, this was, I think, after the CEO, and then we had a big rally, and then now we've just dropped from 600 down to 420. So, that's a huge percentage move. It just lost a third of its value in the last 2 weeks. So when it undercuts these lows, what I generally think is happening is that you're basically getting uneducated or late to the party shorts, and that people who had their stop under here thinking it was support, it's more likely, I think, to get a little bit of a bounce. We've had 3 days down, and Sean was just talking about, giving Tesla 3 days. Here's 3 days now in UNH. We've undercut those important lows. We're probably running out of sellers in here. And, now that we've maybe undercut that and taken stops and getting late to the party shorts in there, we probably start to get a pretty decent little bounce. And then we'll see if it really makes a much bigger, lower high and continues down like this in the next year or two. But it's definitely a troublesome stock, but not a short right here yet.
Thanks, Brian. UNH, I mean, single-handedly bringing down the Dow, it seems like right now. Maybe there's some value in the diamonds, the DIA. All right, I'm going to talk about something that's been on an absolute tear. I mean, everyone's talking gold. We had a junior miner on the show today here from Canada talking all about gold. We've had many guests want to talk about gold. So guess what, Brian? Let's talk a little bit about gold. I just looked back. We had the largest red candle, and it's just the candle size. Obviously, the price has increased that. Just down today, over 1% on gold. GDX, the miners, down a little bit more than that today, down 2.7%. But as we zoom out, this little marker right there, I don't know, we gapped up there yesterday into 314, 315. I don't know if that's going to be a doji star or not, because we'll see if we can cover that up, which we did today, and a nice move down. I almost think, Brian, when everybody likes something,
exactly,
maybe it's time to go the other way. And I think it's going to be temporary, but there's so much excitement about gold right now. Maybe the smart money's in and maybe even looking short. Any thoughts about that kind of a theory that I have right here on gold? I think a month from now, we're lower than where we are today.
It's funny, Sean. I looked on Google Trends today. I looked up the term gold just to see if there's a much bigger search going on for gold than there has been. And it was surprising to me that there hasn't been more talk in the Google Trends. But, a run like this is going to encounter some a little bit of supply and profit taking. And this looks like a little bit of a warning shot across the bow here, this outside day down after yesterday's doji. We've got the UGL, which is the double long gold, and the GLL, which is the gold short. So if you want to go short with it, so far, GLL, I think, stands for good luck loser, because anyone who's bought it is losing money. So, right, but I think you're right. We're probably due for a deeper pullback. We're still making, though, these higher highs and higher lows above the rising 5-day moving average. So from that perspective, the momentum is still strong. I wouldn't want to short it yet, but it's getting kind of frothy up here.
Yeah, I think there might be a play there. Why is silver not going with gold? Generally, they don't normally move together, but I was just thinking, kind of like if we're trying to, own things that we can hold and that we can drop on our foot, silver, that could be something else that we want to look at, but silver not reacting the same way. If we're thinking negatively on gold, should we be maybe short silver because it didn't have the same move? SLV?
I'm not good at that sort of thing, Sean. I'm not good at that academic debate. I look at it and just say each trade on its own merits, and silver is just a mess. It's been doing nothing for a year here, so I just don't have any interest in it. Truthfully, it's not what I do.
I want to show everybody on the screen because they're wondering, where can we find Brian Shannon? Well, how about right here at Alpha Trends right now? Let's get this guy going. 354,000 subscribers. Not only that, Brian.
There's the book.
We have the book right here, Maximum Trading Gains with an Anchored VWAP. We're not done with you yet. I just want to make sure that everybody understands what kind of a trader that we have on with us right now. We want to thank Brian for joining us every single Tuesday. So everybody bookmark your calendar, especially in earnings season. As we go quickly, I'm just going to quickly call up Tesla because people are asking to have a quick look at that stock, and we'll do it live. This is a live level 2 screen right now of that's the Qs right now, TSLA. Let's have a quick little look, 238 and change. So again, Brian, not much happening there with Tesla. We'll wait for the call and see if we can get a reaction there out of Elon and out of the stock. But okay, I wanted to ask you about Berkshire because Berk B just continues to, impress me anyways, holding near the top. We know there's a big cash position here. Have you been hearing anything as far as what they're buying? Do you like how Berkshire looks here? To me, Brian, we just bounced yesterday off the 50-period moving average on a negative day. That's good. Today's a positive one. Outpaces the ES, but still in line, 2.63%. Doesn't look like the rest of them. Berkshire year to date. Where is my little year to date? I don't even know where it is, but I'll find it for you. Here it is. It's going to be here somewhere. Year to date. There it is. 15%. right now. So almost going opposite of the ES. You like Berkshire here? You hearing anything about that name?
I don't. It makes me wonder, though, what's he doing with all that cash?
Right.
I think they've got a 30% cash position, and I think once he starts putting that money to work, whatever he starts buying, you're going to start to see, popping up there. And nice little graphic, by the way. I did see, though, that he was, buying more of this Oxy Petroleum, and he now owns a huge percentage of it. But I still don't see what he sees here. We've spoken about this for the last 6 months, and it just continues to go down. I'm not a value investor. He is, so that's a different strategy. But that stock isn't helping his performance. It'll be interesting to see where he puts the cash.
Is there and I'm going to ask you it again until you eventually give me an answer. No. Is there a Mag 7 name at all that you're looking at that maybe, Amazon had a beautiful bottom there. It's up to you to sort of pick and choose here. Do you have a play, anything you're looking for, long or short, on any of these names? I was looking at Apple maybe underneath 200 until we breach it. That could be a trade as well, a psychological level of 200 there. Or we can do the same thing with Nvidia, a big psychological level there at $100. Has there been anything there? Because I know there's a lot of traders that especially watch our show. I trade a lot of the Mag 7 names. So is there sort of a play or anything you're thinking about right now? Can we get inside that head? What is going on with a Mag 7 play? Anything sort of tickling your fancy?
I'll go out on a limb here and say Meta, maybe Meta, because that one yesterday undercut the low from April 7th and made a new low. And often, like we were just talking about with United Health, when the market gets oversold and then we undercut the prior low by a little bit like we did here, and then we see a recovery, that oftentimes what we have underneath that prior low is stops from people who thought they bought the low that day and they were feeling real good about it. They say, we'll put our stop under there. Well, that's just too obvious to put your stop under there. And instead of, taking some profits as it's declining, they instead get their stock stolen from them. Uneducated or late to the party shorts get involved saying, oh, it's making a new low. It's probably going to zero. Zuckerberg's or whatever. And then, so whatever their reason is. But the bottom line is, I think that this one against these lows right now could be good for a decent trade against yesterday's low.
Yeah, those are some things that we like to look at too, those grabs real quick. Look, over 5,000 of us joining, and it's been a great session one more time. And I want to thank you, Brian, for coming on. Is there anything you want to, is it every day you put something out to your subscribers? Or I know you have weekend talks, so on and so forth. Did you want to explain sort of what they can find at Twitter with @AlphaTrends?
Sure. That's several times a day I put stuff out for subscribers, and I've got a Discord room, so I'm fairly active in there as well. But, the Sunday night show, I think that you just mentioned, that's something I do with StockTwits, and what I do is just kind of go over, here's how the futures look going into, at Sunday night, and take ticker requests and, what are people looking at? And lately it's been a lot of keeping people out of trouble and saying, no, don't buy that one. It looks awful.
Well, I know a lot of us here appreciate that because, sometimes we do get carried away and you want to try to buy all the dips until that dip runs out and we run out of cash and then there's nothing left to do except for hope and pray for a recovery. So we want to thank you for always looking out for us, looking at the charts and answering all of our questions. So Brian, promise me you'll come back next Tuesday.
I will see you same place next Tuesday.
I like it. Thank you, Brian. The best. You're the best. Have a good one, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
We mentioned the earnings calls.
So, Sharif, that's it, man.
Sir.
We are now done. And, hey, look.
Yes, sir.
This is your show. What do you want to mention?
I don't know about that. I'm just a guest here, baby.
Nah, you're a host. What do you mean?
I want to let everybody know, guys, the Tesla call, and I think that this is going to be the main part of the Tesla earnings move here. That starts at 5:30. So if you're looking to trade this, if you're invested in it, it behooves you. It's your responsibility to make sure you're listening to the call, gauge sentiment. Again, widely expected he's going to be more positive this time. Specifically, what I'm looking for are details of the Model 2 or the Model Q, the robo-taxi, as well as Optimus, obviously a little bit longer dated that one. Make sure you are listening to that call. 5:30, Sean, that's when it starts.
Okay, so 5:30. So ears to the ground for that one. Plans tonight?
No, gym, then home.
Gym tan laundry?
Hey, I do my laundry.
Did you ever
Sunday
watch
night.
Jersey Shore?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, how
shout
could you
out to the
not? Yeah.
situation,
Shout out to the situation. Actually, he got himself in a couple situations, but now
did.
he's out of those situations.
Well, that's good, Sean. He's got a weasel out.
Yeah, that's all good. All right, thank you, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Look, we're back tomorrow, man. Rise or shine at 8:30. We have that watch list going out. There's earnings in the pre-market. You definitely want to check that out. A big shout out to our girl Adara. Thank you so much for all those infographics. And guess what? There's more tomorrow, man.
Bang.
So many more. So many more coming. Have a great night. Ramin, thank you so much for everything again that you're doing on the ones and twos. Thank you so much to our guest Brian Shannon.
Yes,
and we can't
absolutely.
forget Bears vs. Bulls and all of our viewers, Sharif. We can't do it without them.
Absolutely not.
Thank you guys
Wouldn't be
for
here.
coming out. That is 100% for sure. All right, I do this with Adara all the time.
What?
So we do this, and
Okay.
then we're going to pound it out, but I'm going to ask you a question, and then you're going to say the answer. So this is your first workout tonight. Like what reps are you going to do? What is your first?
What's my first
Curls,
thing?
what are you going to be doing?
Well, I don't
tonight?
even know what the hell I'm doing, Sean. I'm doing like squats.
Squats, boom. All right, we got
We're
squats
doing it
going on
live.
tonight. We're doing squats. Maybe live, maybe not. Follow Sharif on Instagram for more information about that. Thank you so much for watching us. I'm Trader TV Sean. This is Sharif, and we're going to see you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao.
Night.